This Mother's Day, treat mom to healthy, glowing skin with Osea's limited edition skincare sets. Osea has been making clean, seaweed-infused products for nearly 30 years. Their advanced eye care duo brightens and firms skin around your eyes, while the Golden Glow Body Trio nourishes and smooths skin all over. They both come in giftable boxes with savings up to $46 and free shipping for a limited time. Go to OSEAMalibu.com and use code MOM for 10% off your first order site-wide.
Hey, I'm Kat, mom of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company setting a new standard in the supplement industry. When I was pregnant, I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and thinking, what's in this stuff? All I found were vitamins high in heavy metals and lacking in the very essential nutrients we need. So we scoured the world for the best quality ingredients, backed by clinical studies, third-party tested, and Ritual's Essential Prenatal was born. Join our family of skeptics with 40% off your first month when you visit ritual.com/podcast.
There we go. Close enough, as usual.
I mean, Discord, so it's hard to tell if everybody clapped because I didn't really hear any claps. But
yeah. I recently learned of the trick that is done on the Fool's Quest.
On the Fool's Quest?
The
fuck down?
The fuck down. It's
the fuck down, yeah.
1, 2, 3, fuck. Or 5. Or is it 5 and then fuck? I don't know.
What, if it's a fuck down, shouldn't it be like 3, 2, 1 fuck?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it is 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I prefer
it might be
clap.
A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're classy over here at Microphones and Morons. We don't have such debased levels of syncing.
At least I don't.
I fuck down all the time. Because I'm on Nico's shows. That he DMs.
Okay.
I'm DTF, down to fuck down.
DTFD.
Down to fuck down. DTFD.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello. Let us start the show.
Oh wait, no, that's a dated reference. Like, let's start the show. Do. That's Chappelle's show.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights.
Chappelle show.
This is October Morons of the 2022 variety.
Yes, it is. That is correct. I'm
Max
tired,
has
so I'm just going to
returned.
agree with you a lot.
Yes.
Max is back. We decided to rehire him.
I have come down from the mountain. It is challenge day, no? I had a wonderful time.
He broke Sarah's Harry. He
Yes.
broke Skatesy's foot.
I broke Skatesy's foot. I ate all the apples and removed myself from most of modern society, and it was everything I could have wanted and more.
And more.
How
And
about
more.
them apples?
I got Dairy
Were
Queen.
those just like mountain apples?
Well,
Mountain
no.
apples.
So we went to LJ, and LJ is like the apple capital of Georgia. They just have like a shitload of apple orchards. So
Would you call it the
okay.
capital?
it's the capital of Georgia.
Okay,
they
so
have
we're going to start
apple
over now.
everything.
We
I
got to
know,
start
this is-
over after that.
This is the lukewarm open. But it was really fun. I got to eat Dairy Queen at 11 o'clock, and I found out that Dairy Queen opens up super early. So when we were leaving, I got Dairy Queen as like a little road snack, and it was awesome.
Was it like Dairy Queen breakfast, or were they just serving lunch like
No,
super
just,
early?
I just got ice cream at 11 o'clock in the morning because I'm an adult.
End ad break. This podcast is not brought to you by Dairy Queen.
No. Now, that being said, Dairy Queen, if you're listening, I love me a
Our
Blizzard.
podcast is over.
But okay, I really don't want to go on a huge tangent about Dairy Queen, but you know, the person who does it in like a drive-through, if you get a blizzard, I think they're like required to flip it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fall out.
They are. Mm-hmm.
That's hysterical.
I just want to be there when it doesn't work. I just want to see it not work. I want to see the blizzard just slide out of the cup. They flip it open and just
right out.
Bloop. They're holding it in someone's car and just turn it over.
I've had them not flip it for me, and it was like half melted. They didn't flip it because it was half melted. I didn't care, honestly.
I remember seeing a sign that said something like they have to flip it, and if they don't, then you get a free one or something.
Yeah, I think that's.
But I don't know if that's actually the case.
Yeah, but it had like hot stuff in it, like hot fudge. That's gonna mess it up. So
yeah, hot fudge might change things.
It does change things for the better usually.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a good segue for this.
Okay, well, why don't we do the patrons?
Speaking of things that won't fall out of a cup if you turn it upside down. That was horrible. I'm
like,
sorry, everyone.
What?
Like, is that like some kind of fat joke or something? Like,
no, they are retained.
Or our patron Spider-Man.
Yes. I don't know. We have enough of them that could fill out the Spider-Verse. So
you just stuff all of them in a cup together, and then they won't fall out.
This absolutely horrendous segue is for our patrons, which I will now read off as is tradition. This is like really tiny. I need to open this up. Okay. I'd like to give a special.
They're gonna fall out of the cup if they're tiny.
God! I'd like to give a special shout out to Riley White, Kyle Much, Lamb Sauce, Michael Cross, Garrett, James Ingram, Chunky and Funky, Sarah C., Nari Kwok, Nick Mead, Jeffrey Lee, and Patrick T. Arsenault. Thank you all very much.
Sure you're not missing one?
That was the list.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to me. I'm Papa Nurgle, by
the
way.
That makes it better when we force you to thank yourself.
Yes, I was trying to
you
drive
egotistical jerk.
I was
it's the
trying
way
to
that
be
it
very
works.
sneaky and drive up the patron numbers so we could reach our 20 goal, and then you just I was listening to the Morons in the car on the way back from the mountains. Like, Papa Nurgle, oh, that's Max. I'm like, why would you say that? Don't say that. Just say it.
just boom, doxed him.
Super did.
They even called me on doxing you. Yeah. No, can't sneak one over on me.
I tried.
Know.
Oh, it's like you see names of patrons and peoples because you manage it or something weird.
Oh yeah, there's that.
All right. This isn't it, but this is almost it.
I mean,
yeah, this
is it.
We're starting with episode
as far as episodes.
Yeah, but
the final battle.
We'll have a a big campaign.
A whole big to do.
Yeah.
Where everything will be revealed except for maybe things that we don't want to reveal.
That's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Sarah's been
question.
Sarah's been screaming at me. She's like, "Who is Manros?" Like, I know. I'm not going to tell you though. It's not like that answer.
He's Manros. That's what he is.
That is the answer. Manros. Manros is Manros.
Elevator operator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is very clear. We were very, very clear about this from the day one. Manros operates the elevator.
Mm-hmm. That's what he does. All right.
But it's like, well, what's the elevator?
It goes.
It takes
places.
you up and down, Adam.
Yeah. It has to be operated. Okay, so we do the preparations for the final big bad showdown. The thing that we've kind of been culminating over 4 seasons and 200 plus episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot of episodes.
It is a lot of episodes. I had someone in, because I've been kind of going back to the office for work, and I remember I casually mentioned that I did this podcast, and she was nice enough to remember and ask me about it. I was like, yeah, we did over 200 episodes. She's like, wow, that must be awesome. Like, you should listen and say that to my face.
I like how there's enough that it's almost like a threat. Like you should listen to our 200 episode long podcast.
I'm gonna stop.
You can skip the dozen or two episodes where it's just us talking about the show.
Yeah, where if you just listen to the story, it's still over 100 hours of listening.
I'm gonna stop sending you
we ended with
escalation
222
until you start listening.
222.
We did 222.
Yeah,
so to anybody listening to this, either why are you listening to this out of order? You're listening to us recap the ending for some reason without listening to the rest of it. But if you have listened to the rest of it, then congratulations, because you've listened to well over 100 hours of us talking.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're listening to us right now and this is your first interaction with the show, make sure your podcast app isn't set to play most recent for this show. You want to start with oldest first and then go forward.
Also, hi, thank you for listening. If this is your first time listening,
you've
got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, go back and listen to the first episode and how chill and calm we are. How professional we tried to sound.
Oh God, off. It's a little hard to listen to the old stuff now.
Turn around, go back to the beginning.
We had a whole pandemic during that period of time. We all changed as people.
Maybe next time we should try and put little Easter eggs in various episodes all over the place to make it kind of like a choose your own adventure book. Like go back to page 302.
Go listen to episode 35.
Yeah.
If you wish to continue.
I am sorry, but you have died. Go back to the beginning.
We're not doing this to generate more views to get us more popular. I promise.
By the way, thank you for viewing our podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for taking a look at the thumbnail.
Because I got too much other shit to do than to do that.
So we've got an hour left before we're sent into Haster's area by whatever that spider was named.
It was Nacho Belgrande. Nacho Belgrande.
Yeah.
And so Sarah's got us a meeting, and she's like, "Here's that other button that we made, and you have to press it exactly when we get there. Who wants to do that?" And Julian's like, "I'll do it, I guess, maybe." And Victor's like, "I'll do it."
Responsibility.
I'm good at pressing buttons and using devices. Although that being said,
but Victor's got those monk reflexes.
You've got a plethora of random gizmos that you have used over the course of the campaign that has solved a lot of problems. So I'm kind of being outdone in that regard.
Oh yeah, I'm not the one with tinker tools.
I make my I gather tools to my person. I don't make them.
Just the junk drawer.
Take the thing apart and hand it to the guy with the tinker tools.
What are you doing with this? What do you got?
I removed the battery. Here's a battery. That was last time. Why are we talking about that? Max doesn't get to talk about that because he went to the mountains.
Okay, that's fine.
It's too late. You missed your opportunity.
I did say I was super pissed off when you guys were talking about what wrestler would your character be, and it'd be like, come on, that's the one time I want to be in front of you guys to talk about that. That'd be great.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
One opportunity right now. Who is Julian? Go.
Oh, it's Stone Cold.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, there you go.
He does drink a lot.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
And so Victor's got the little box, and what it's going to do is it reduces Haster's influence over the area in general, and also prevents sort of instantaneously getting dread. So I think it just turned dread off as a thing for the fight, which was extremely helpful, because imagine doing the fight with dread on.
We would have survived.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we copied 2 tablets.
Yeah. Because if we didn't copy both, it would have been really bad.
Really, really not okay.
Yeah.
See, what we didn't know is if we'd have managed to copy 3 tablets.
There was no time.
Yeah, Victor doesn't write that fast. And he bravely ran away, if you remember.
You could have got the Raps to write for you.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Raps, see what that pen's doing? Do that.
Do that. Copy that stuff.
There was too much dread in that situation.
Yes.
There was. That was Y'all were lucky you got 2. I was not thinking you were going to get 2.
How many were there total? Like 6 or 7 or something?
I don't remember.
I don't know if it was
there
necessarily
was
explicitly
multiple.
stated.
Okay. I don't know.
I never
Anyway.
said the exact number, but there were multiple.
Anyway, this isn't the season, Morons, is it? This is just
This is
October.
October.
This is just
So-
the
this is just
episodes
October.
for October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final month.
Yep, the final battle. So they've got about 30 minutes left after the meeting's over, so Alistair takes a nap.
Like you do.
And Victor is just sitting there watching the countdown clock.
Excuse me.
Apparently all the rest of the DDA is also going to be there. Like, everyone from our campaign is going to be there. So, except for people who aren't useful in a fight, like Mrs. Stoutheart and Janice.
Janice.
We left them. We just left them inside. They're just like sitting there by themselves. We never cut
Janice
over
is
to
busy
them.
working on the play.
I can't be disturbed right now. I don't care how dire. But yeah, you're managing the doomsday clock, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And
I made sure to wake Alistair up a minute before.
he was not okay with that. He said, no,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
He's like, I can sleep for another 45 seconds. It'll be fine.
This 45 seconds are valuable, okay?
I woke him up so he had time to do his stretchies and be ready.
Get front legs and back legs done.
Mm-hmm. He had to arc, claws came out. He walked up to the couch and just put his arms on the
Maximum
couch.
toe bean extension.
Yep, exactly.
Toe beans.
And
then we get to like a weird alien area, and Adam describes it. And there's a giant undead army and a flying dragon-ish thing with the tattered rap guy on him. A tattered rap guy. Who knows who it is?
There's so many of them.
So many.
There was also a big moon face thing in the sky.
I forgot about
right,
the
Adam?
moon face.
It didn't really come into play
face.
too much specifically.
No.
It was
well,
just sort
because
of
you pushed
there.
it back with the hitting the button.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
See?
we went back in time 3 days and it reset back up in the sky.
Oh, okay. All right, I got that now. It took me a second.
And then we sang a song and 4 giants came. But Victor hit
But
the
no,
button.
just this massive army of eldritch creatures and all sorts of stuff. Everything that y'all basically fought in the past, plus more. And cats. There was cats.
Oh yeah,
So
Detlef
many
was there
cats.
too.
Yes.
Like
all the
Alistair
stuff that he
sees Detlef
got from the
middle of the
army.
next episode, but
Yeah.
yeah, because the next episode just starts with Yamnel smashing his button, making little guys go out. Just creating a front line by just hammering the button over and over again.
Wait, Steven, can you do that motion
Go get
again?
little guys.
No.
Okay.
Do that motion.
No.
It was
The bottom of his
tired.
hand was off
button.
camera while he was mashing the button with his
He was
fist.
mashing it. Yes.
For
You
the
guys.
visually impaired on this audio
You
podcast.
guys.
But yeah, he keeps Zerg rushing with his little guys.
Yeah, and then
Um,
we roll for initiative, but it's a skill check challenge, so we're not
So
like
skill
just
check challenge.
Mm-hmm.
so we're not attacking or anything like that. We're not rolling attack rolls.
We're attacking
We
with
just-
our imagination.
Yeah,
Imagination.
Yes, exactly.
Adam's like, come up with whatever. Like for the first time, like the whole campaign, I've been like, well, what if I try to do this? Can I do that? And he's like, can you do that as an action? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, if you can't do it, then you can't do it. And then Adam like turned it on its head and he's like, do whatever you want, Steven.
Just
You
whatever.
just have to roll and succeed. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
Within
just come up-
your wheelhouse, just-
Yeah.
But the problem with not the problem, but just the thing about that is for like the large scale battles in like a D&D format. I mean, it's so monotonous to do rolls for that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Skill
definitely
check challenge is awesome.
definitely dig these skill check challenge things. Like they're
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Oh, you left 30 bad guys area of influence, so you're gonna have to
Get ready for 30 attacks of opportunity.
Exactly.
This is gonna be
You're
fun to
just
roll.
dead immediately. Everyone's dead immediately because the battlefield is so dense that there's just attacks of opportunity happening. No one's attacking anyone directly in front of them. It's just people that are barely getting away from them.
I was about to say, if I want to roll that many dice, I will play a game of Warhammer 40K, which you will have to roll between 20 and 50 dice in a giant pool. That's always fun. No.
And Adam was like, you have to pass 5 skill checks as a group.
Oh,
and then
y'all
we just
blew it.
1, 2, 3,
away.
4, 5. We did an extra one at the end just for flourish.
Yeah, I just had to finish the round.
Yeah, and I've got them all listed. So Alistair turned into a giant threatening Tulsa flame pillar and spooked everything real bad. It's just a boogie, you know.
Made it real spoopy.
Yep. Victor launched himself off of Julian's mech suit, like just as like the DDA was showing up, and whipped out his ninja stars, yelled at Gimbal about style, and hit 28 different things with every ninja star he had.
Yeah.
You know, just to, finally pay off those ninja stars. I used 2 ninja stars, I think, the whole campaign.
You gave one
After
to
Adam.
Gimbal in the past.
Yeah, you gave one away, and then you lost it in the
formless spawn.
Formless spawn.
Yeah, I put it in the formless spawn, and then it was like, whatever. Now I have spikes, and I never threw a shuriken again. But seeing Gimbal inspired him because then Victor realized that the shurikens were more powerful than he thought they were for the majority of the campaign. Because they count as a monk weapon, so it's not a D4 anymore; it's a D8, Stephen. Anyway. But yeah, he was throwing him with his arms and his wraps, and it was all super cool. And then Julian,
I was like, okay, I don't know what I wanted to do, and I remember, I was watching a video. I don't remember what it was, but basically like how like but like how orbital weapons would work on Earth, and it wouldn't be like, you don't use an actual gun. What you would do is you would accelerate something from up high down quickly, and like I think it's like they were going to use like tungsten rods because of how dense they are.
Yeah.
And basically you just fire it.
I think it was called something like Project Thor or something like that.
But yeah, basically just accelerating a metal rod down to a planet at as fast as possible because it wouldn't burn up.
So
on
like
re-entry.
a rail gun, and
It
like
really is like a gigantic railgun that's powered by gravity.
Yeah, but like it's I like the fact that it's like a rod and not just like a bullet. It's like you're trying to stake the
No, because you're trying to put as much fucking mass as you can in that one point.
So I was thinking about that, and I was like, hey, railguns are cool. It's a railgun. We're gonna use it as a railgun.
Yeah.
And so you hacked into Quirrell's and used him as a railgun.
Which is
He
kind
didn't
of
have to
weird.
hack.
Like,
He was already
Quirrell's-
connected.
Yeah,
like he already set that up.
I just took over Quirrell's because he wasn't acting quick enough.
It was a friendly hack. It wasn't a
It was
an intrusive
friendly
hack.
act.
I was a guiding hand.
He wasn't making Quirrell's act outside his own willpower.
He had the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi password.
I got the
The Wi-Fi.
I just hack into Quirrell's and like I make a version of myself that's all weird shapes and stuff like that, and I just like grab Quirrell's hand, just like stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
This is the quality content
geometry
that
shape
Microphone
Julian.
Morons brings you.
If you've gotten this far,
Oh man,
this is all your fault. Just so you know. We're not doing this to you at this point. You're doing it to yourself.
You enabled this kind of behavior.
Enable. They encourage it.
Oh.
And then
Yeah, I really like the railgun idea. I liked all the ideas. Like everything just panned out really well, and I was able to use that to like drive the story and everything.
And then, Alistair, you basically shouted out to everyone in the army. It's like, hey, if you see a guy named Deplib, just kick the shit out of him and bring the green stuff.
Pretty
Did not
much,
see
yeah.
that coming. I had more planned for Detlib, but you rolled too good. And
he just converted
he
converted a fraction of Haster's army to be Tulsha's army and attack Detlib, which is funny since Detlib was, a servant of Tulsha or whatever you want to say.
Well, I mean, getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but I would say he served Tulsha pretty well.
And then I'm like, wait,
they did.
Well, Richard has like giant green time god powers, and Julian's like shooting a railgun from the sky. What can Victor do? And I was just like, I guess I can throw a barrel. I summoned a glue
It was a
barrel.
badass barrel. Yeah,
that was a pretty good barrel to get.
It was a great barrel to get.
Considering what I threw it at.
Yeah.
And so I threw it at the dragon, or it wasn't a dragon. I think Victor called it a lizard horse.
Yeah, it was a lizard horse.
It's kind of like a lizard horse, like eldritch kind of dragon thing.
Yeah, the green-eyed cat was just like, oh, this is what that thing is. Just like, okay, whatever. You're not real.
So I hit that with a glue barrel, and it made it all sticky and fall down. And then the rap person disappeared, whatever they were. I'm still not 100% clear. I know it was that the Tattered King?
Oh, he totally, like, when the barrel hit, he leaped off.
I know.
Like, he knew what
I'm
was
asking,
coming.
like, who was that? Was that the Tattered King?
Oh, it was that avatar of the Tattered King. And
so it's just
Avatar
another Tattered
and
King avatar.
A Herald of Hastur.
Harold.
That's okay.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I thought. He was
As-
just
as-
General Tattered King.
Yeah,
He was in
General
charge of the
Tattered
army.
King. So, like, I planted that all the way back in season 1 that the pallid mask can actually break off and connect to multiple beings and become different avatars of Hastur.
And that
which
one
is
had
the
a
King
lizard
in
horse
Yellow
that rode
/
in the sky.
the Tattered King.
Yeah, it's like the mask.
Which I
but
went
it's the pallid mask.
I went
So if you
away
wear
from
it,
the
you become
King in
him.
Yellow. Yeah, like there was still like the King in Yellow book and the play, but I went away from like the King in Yellow and went with the Tattered King as what they actually went by.
Cool.
They just happened to be in yellow.
Damn, is the mask from
Dirty
the
and
movie
yellow.
The Mask actually a servant of the Tattered King? Because he does wear a lot of
No,
yellow.
it's Loki.
No, that's yeah.
Damn
it's
it.
Loki.
He does wear
It
a lot
says
of
it in the
yellow
movie.
though.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
He does.
Damn it.
He does.
And after I made that happen, I realized that I had forgotten to use my +12 modifier to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 12.
Like
Who needs plus 12?
Like I hit it well enough with just what I rolled, and I think I got like a flash of genius. And then I was like, oh wait, I also had a +12, so that would have been a 22 without it. So that was a 27.
Yeah.
So I was able to dead eye something with a glue barrel from farther away than normal. Because Adam said that I use the wraps like a slingshot.
Yeah, no, it got bigger and like turned you into a catapult, like to give you extra torque. To get that barrel throw further.
So it's very interesting to visualize the sequence of events of two armies charging, and then a giant green pillar of flame intimidating them to attack each other, then getting attacked and stuck by a giant glue barrel, not being able to charge, and then just being absolutely shithouse rocked from the sky from orbital guns. It's like a absolutely catastrophic failure of a battle plan. Like just ruined.
Oh, plus your last roll for Julian was that you integrated with the army's everyone's HUD to like point out important targets for them to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they so everyone knew exactly where to hit based on like strategy and stuff.
Taking out like, unit commanders and stuff like that. Basically, you can't do a battle if you can't relay orders and chain of command, and it all kind of crumbles. I play
Super
a
true.
lot
Yeah.
of Total War.
Good
That's
call.
kinda how I was playing
Good
this
call.
in my mind.
And if you play very many
Yeah.
like strategy games, you realize that focus fire is very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very. Yeah. Given the guy with the mech suit the power to play a giant battle how he wants to, and also the guy that plays war games.
Yeah, I do a lot
outside of this game.
I do a lot of war games. Okay, so I'll take out the captain, get rid of all of the rerolls and the ability to issue orders and use special stuff.
It's really
and
good.
And everyone's kind of, you break the synergy and everything kind of goes to shit.
Yeah, I just spend my time playing with giant barrels of glue. That's what I do in my free time.
Is that why you have that industrial grade Elmer's container behind you in the camera?
Elmer's is the stuff for pansies. I need the harder glue.
You need
that
the
only
stuff
comes
that gets
in
you
barrels.
Yeah, I need like
It
the
only
gorilla
comes in barrels.
glue and
Like,
the
like toxic glue. Like forget all that non-toxic stuff.
yeah, exactly.
If it's not a hazard
When
to my
kids can
health,
eat this and not die, this glue is lame.
yeah,
But
if
no,
it's not
I
a
love-
hazard to my health. It's not worth putting stuff together with.
I loved everybody's ideas for this and another successful skill check challenge, which I guess if you also listen to Dread Tech and you don't have the binge tier, then you will hear that soon. But yeah, there was a skill check challenge in Dread Tech before the final fight too. So
Nice.
Yeah. It's a really cool thing. Like just in general, I really like these skill check challenges.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then the end of that episode is just Dastrin being goofy with a giant hammer and us making goofy jokes.
And all of us getting in on the fun.
all of it was canon. All of it was
taking
canon.
over all of his actions is great.
I mean, it's maybe the most important house rule. Like anyone can control a yak folk at all times.
What was the line I say?
Yeah.
It's like, this is how we do it in Darkwell, bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna gorge you.
Oh,
I don't remember who said that, but
I don't know.
it was just
great, though.
like rapid fire, goofy stuff,
Yeah.
and
Let's
I was
take-
like,
let's
oh,
take-
all that's canon.
Let's take one of the most benign characters we have in the story and just turn him into a murder machine.
I mean, that's what he was like before he married Hester and settled down to make a shop.
Mm.
He was quite the warrior.
You have to channel that aggression and anger into craftsmanship.
Exactly.
It's very healthy.
Oh man!
But then
then the next episode, we found out what everyone else was doing.
Mhm.
I think it was just Adam made the decision to cut the end of the episode after the goofy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you
yeah,
gotta
I
balance.
did. I that was a perfect spot. Actually, I didn't cut it there. The editors cut it there,
Oh, okay.
which
That
cool.
still
Good
works
job,
out.
editors.
formerly known as the Fly Boys is Omen Hawk Studios. And
Omen Hawk.
Omen Hawk Studios.
Oh, okay.
Omen
Cool.
Hawk
They didn't
Studios.
rename themselves an
OMEN.
impronounceable symbol.
So are they going to have like an offshoot
No.
that they call Omen Hawk Mutual?
I don't get it.
I don't either.
No,
Is that
Was that a JoJo reference?
credit union
No,
thing?
not a
it's not.
JoJo reference.
It's definitely not a JoJo. It's a really lame reference to Omaha Mutual, but okay.
I don't even know what that is.
It sounds like
I get
an
it now.
insurance
It's
company.
Like
I'm the only one that's getting
It
it. I
was a
can't
really
stop
progressive joke, Richard.
A very adult joke. Very grown up.
it's a very grown up joke.
Kids wouldn't get it.
Like even adults
Oh.
wouldn't get it.
Clearly.
I made another insurance
I thought
company.
it was too funny. Like I'm probably the only person that thought that was hilarious. But it's Omen Hawk Studios at gmail.com if you want to contact them. I
So
think that's a
send
good
them
time
requests for more
actor.
episodes of Microphones and Monsters. Just ask them to
No,
make
they're-
more episodes. Be like, take the scraps and put together something, please.
edit
they'll-
edit my voice and clipped up to
Yeah.
make me sound like even more of a goofball. It shouldn't be hard.
Oh, which I forgot to roast you back in episode 207.
What did I do?
Instead of saying Dubé, you said bidet.
I did?
No, you said
Other way
you
around.
said Dubé instead of Dubé instead of bidet.
Oh, damn it.
Oh. See, I was keeping track of all Max's mess ups, but then my computer
That
ran
was
out of
last
hard drive
month,
space.
though. I didn't get to roast him last month because he wasn't here.
It burns. It's a cold burn, but it's
no.
there.
The editors left me a note in the project file, roast Max for saying Dubé instead of bidet.
If you could gather a list of all of the fuck ups that I have done from the editors, I would be very interested to see that.
diehard fans. I want a count
more
of each episode.
more so.
Oh God,
more so
Max Smith says so many things.
Yeah, more so just because like it'll help me not say dumb things in the future.
But see,
also
the
just
brilliant
how many times I've done it.
The brilliant thing is
It's okay.
that I feel like messing up and saying the wrong words or names has just become so much a part of Julian's character
Yes,
that it just
And,
makes more
and
sense.
of microphone and monsters, as a show.
Yes.
And Max.
my goals for doing more voice work is to be less erratic and panicky with my thoughts and stuff, and then doing everything very slow and methodical, which will be a weird tonal change, but it'll be cool.
which is kind of interesting.
Well, outside
because
of this, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's kind of interesting because I found for myself it kind of works better the other way around. Like it generally works out better for me if I just don't worry about it and just do it.
Yeah,
It also probably
same
doesn't
with
help
me.
that I pound like 2 to 3 cups of coffee before recording, so I'm just like super wired.
Yeah.
I'm
Nah,
just like
I mean,
this.
it's fine. I missay things. I think all of us have missaid
Oh, yeah.
something.
I'm
throughout the whole
positive of
thing.
that.
Just
I know I've missaid things.
in a rush, improving, like just the wrong things come out, and it's just a part of an unscripted show, really. Whenever you're doing scripted stuff, you're gonna record multiple takes. So
All right, so that we go through, we talk about how the rest of the DDA
Yeah.
B/C team show up.
Yes,
that was
I
actually
summarized it right there.
probably a good commercial break there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do the thing.
End ad break.
Okay, re-say that what you just said, Max.
So
I could fix it.
the rest of the DDA members and associates hop in too. So Rescue, Versebar, is shooting missiles from her own flying mech.
Like I see what you did there.
Thank you. Someone else does the Marvel stuff that I do.
I do the Marvel stuff.
I dabble in a Marvel on occasion.
So is Versbar like Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, he
games?
gets it. He gets
there you
it.
go. Yeah, that character's name is Rescue in comics.
There we go.
Got it. Cool.
And Evangeline is a robe wearing slasher ninja, is what I put, because that was what I got out of Adam's description. It's pretty close, right?
Yeah, she's a rogue.
She's a Naruto.
she did a Naruto.
She's doing hand signs.
Well, I guess Alistair experienced her doing cool
Yeah.
rogue stuff.
Yeah. Alistair saw her do some cool rogue stuff.
Shadow zips around like the gremlin, the electricity gremlin from Gremlin 2.
Not Robo Shadow.
Yes, not Robo
Yes.
Shadow. It's living electricity Shadow.
Used his teleportals, TM.
And he uses his teleportals to zip around like electricity and slash people
They're
with his
mine.
little claws.
Just like Gremlins 2.
Just like Gremlins 2, except that one didn't slash people with its claws and use portals.
Yes. So
Like
nothing
Gremlins
like it at all. But guys, just watch Gremlins 2.
If you haven't, you really need to.
Yeah. Go
Gamble and
listen
Bracket.
go listen to Howie Mandel.
Yeah. And the brain gremlin is voiced by it's Vost. It's the brain
Vost?
gremlin's voiced by
Vost.
Tony Randall. Very fun movie.
As long as it wasn't
Gamble and
Tony
Bracket.
Robbins.
Gimble and Bracket do Gimble and Bracket stuff.
Yes.
Gimble's got his exploding crossbow bolts, and Bracket's got his hammer, and he spins around, but his head is stationary.
Just spinning that torso around as he runs around.
Well, his legs and his legs and head keep facing forward, and his torso's spinning.
I'm thinking of like the IG robot from the Mandalorian. Yeah, like that,
Yeah.
only with a hammer.
Yeah.
I was thinking of, I can't remember the name of the character from Small Soldiers, but one of the characters does that where like he does like Tasmanian devil spin, but his head stays in place.
It's a second Joe Dante movie reference in 5 minutes. Just wait until we tie this into the Burbs.
All right. And then Alistair, you saw that your dearest, closest friend Detlib was.
Oh, we didn't finish the other people though.
No.
Oh, I forgot.
You
Yeah, we
missed
got
Sarah.
Sarah and Gerbo. Sorry.
Yeah, you missed.
Yeah. Sarah's healing people, and Gerbo is healing people with his crossbow full of syringes.
Which is the most horrifying thing I think I've heard of, and that's saying something.
And Carl's not there.
It's like the
'Cause Adam destroys all joy.
It's like the syringe gun.
There is a
from-
smiley face in the notes.
It's like the syringe.
It's a
gun
frowny
from
face,
It's a
sir.
frowny
Because
face in
Carl
the
is
notes.
not there.
Oh,
But yeah,
I said
yeah.
smiling. Yeah, it's a frowny face.
It's a frowny face.
It
And
is.
Carl's not
Carl
there.
is not
Frowny
there. Well,
face.
what if Carl would have died? We don't want to put Carl in that kind of risk.
I wanted to hear something like Carl transformed from a car back into like a little mech soldier, like a little robot guy, and was like fighting.
Or
No,
That's what I
he
wanted to
lost
hear.
that battle capability because it was.
Yeah,
Had
but
to
he was on a
wipe
magic
it.
spaceship with people, or like with people.
Somebody
access
could
to
have
him. They could have
reprogrammed
fixed
it.
him.
He wasn't. He was
exactly.
in the garage. He was never on the
Yeah, but they
spaceship.
could go to the garage.
he could have transformed.
Mamos could take him to the
He
garage.
could have transformed into like Christine and just start murdering people. Can I get more old movie references in this Morons? We'll see.
Well, see, that
Stay
was John
tuned to
Carpenter.
find out.
You've thrown everything off.
no.
Mm.
So that crossbow that Gerbo had was the same crossbow that Julian gave him.
Oh, cool.
Bringing it back around.
Yes.
Yeah,
He stole
little
all
heart
my-
emoji.
He stole all my chemicals and materials, and just like I don't care.
You forgot how to use it.
I didn't forget. I'm just bored of
Well,
them.
So I always had like a stockpile of Julian's healing potions inside of the lab. Like they were just there.
Oh, just like in a corner. Just
Like because in the past you had said that you were just gonna just like make stuff in the lab on your downtime or something.
and just
So
never
there
went
was
back to
just
that.
always potions in there. So I mean they were taken in Dread Tech and
Yes.
and Gerbo took some.
I'm glad other people got use out of it.
That's especially funny later when he gives him one and he
It
says
even
that it
said
tastes awful.
Julian's do not touch on it, and they were still taken.
What a bunch of inconsiderate dicks.
I mean, it is an
Again-
office
again-
environment. That's just natural.
After all the
Skip-
nice things I will say about them in a couple of minutes.
Skipping over a few episodes, Gerbo gives you a potion and you say it tastes awful, which is hilarious because you just say that about any potion you believe isn't yours, but it was yours.
Well, you have to lay it down with Robitussin cough syrup. That's how it goes down easier.
The tussin.
I imagine like potions feel good but don't taste good.
Probably. I mean, it probably is just like the most potent, like off-tasting cough syrup kind
if
of
Victor
stuff
made
ever.
a potion, it would taste good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It would taste delicious.
Victor and Julian
Well-
could have worked together to make the world's first good tasting potions.
We could have.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
in another life, we could have done that.
With your brewing and cooking and drug cooking techniques, like yeah, because you
In another life, you maybe did.
yeah, your injections tasted good.
What?
You know when you inject, like, you know when you get injected
You know,
with
because
stuff.
when you inject things into your taste buds.
Oh man,
like
I got my
the-
flu shot today. It tasted
Okay,
terrible.
you know whenever you get the when you
I know
get
what
the,
you
like
mean.
the shot in like a
Why do they
IV,
need the long
like,
needle if
you
they're
can
just gonna
smell
pour it in
and
your
taste
mouth?
that shit.
You could definitely. I don't know about taste. I would definitely probably say smell.
Well, smell and
taste is
taste are
connected to
weirdly
smell.
tied.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
you
the,
smelled shit,
leg bone
you've
is connected
tasted
to the
shit.
hip bone.
I don't want to think about that line of thinking, Adam. Really don't.
It's like, yes, everyone in the world has tasted shit, whether they like it or not. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. I hope you all
Thanks
are
for coming to my
enlightened and feel
Morons.
good about this. Yes. Oh god. Or it's like it's if you go to like crazy rave clubs and shit, you hear you got the little test tube syringe shots, so they shoot terrible liquor into your mouth.
Oh, I don't do
Okay,
that.
so fun
Anyway,
story
Don't.
about being in Afghanistan. There's a shit pond that all of the like literally shit pond that's churned constantly with like churning machines, where all of the porta potties get dumped into. It's terrible.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you can smell it. Like if
And
the
that
wind's
funnels into the Russell Stover factory.
There's signs all over the pond that's like fishing. There's like some mannequins out there like with a fishing rod and like fishing gear on and with like a chair and stuff. There's even rumors that like a Marine jumped in there and like died within like 12 hours from toxic shit.
Oh, I bet.
Absorbed into his skin and everything. I don't know how true that is. But no, like if you're there for
If I shout outbreak, will
year,
this stop?
every 6 months that you're there, you have inhaled a Snickers size piece of shit.
That is just
Ad break! Ad break!
That's gonna be my.
I've never wanted to hear an ad so much in my life.
That's my safe word now is ad break.
Oh, that'd just be hilarious. Oh man.
Oh god. Oh.
End ad break.
And
previous conversation.
and vomit break.
Now that we've all removed the contents of our stomach, let's continue. So Alistair sees the sort of gently writhing body of Detlib.
It's an apt description.
Gently writhing.
And briskly makes his way over there with the green-eyed cat bounding along with him, saying, "Oh boy." I forget exactly what he said, but essentially it was, "Oh boy." And Alistair's like, how am I going to get those pieces? I can't make him unmeld with them. And the green-eyed cat's just like, just eat him. It'll be fine.
Yes.
We're good at that.
See, Alistair also has intrusive thoughts.
And so
Might take a while, but yeah, I guess I could.
As Victor and Julian watch, because the green-eyed cat, because Alistair turns the heart on, and the green-eyed cat just looks like a little baby Alistair, like not a baby, but just like a little regular Alistair, not a
Jack
giant.
Detlib does, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Alistair though, Alistair's going through some shit in his head.
Yeah, but to everyone else,
what are
it
you
just
trying
looks
to
like
say? Exactly.
regular Detlib
I'm saying
under the influence
Alistair
of the
was
heart.
hallucinating.
That
seeing what he
Alistair is
wanted to
being
see.
goaded into eating what is essentially himself.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Did the heart, because the heart would have made everything around kind of look slightly more gross than it did, because there's like undead people fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But did Detlib look exactly the same to Victor and Julian under the influence of the heart as he did?
And I pointed that
without?
out in the episode. I thought that
You did.
I
Detlib looked
can't
like
remember.
Detlib to you.
Mm-hmm.
So he looked
you
exactly
did point
the same.
that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Even-
I remembered that he pointed it out, but I didn't remember for sure the details.
Yeah. No, Alistair was legit seeing himself when he shouldn't have, like by the eye or the heart.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get it mixed up.
It's because the heart has to do with seeing,
Yeah,
which
the
is
heart,
funny
the heart
because
lets you see.
the eye has
Yes.
nothing to do
What's-
with seeing.
A dream is a wish
Yeah,
that
it
your
does.
heart makes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Alistair's grows is it his head or his entire body grows giant and eats Detlib whole?
His
Which
head.
part?
His head.
Just his head
He does-
grows gigantic.
He does the nibbler thing from Futurama.
Big
Oh.
wide
I think I-
mouth,
I think I
like
said
kind
that
of.
in the
Yeah,
You did
like
you did say that in
nibbler.
the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then-
like that was the whole thing, is because from y'all's perspective, like it was still the normal full-size Detlib, and somehow Alistair managed to just eat him in like one bite.
Hmm.
Did you do that cat thing when cats eat? They like smack their mouth and the top of their. You know what I'm talking about, right? They're eating wet food. They like kind of smack their food on the top of their mouth. I'm not crazy. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Adam knows exactly
I'm pretty
what you're
sure
talking
when he
about.
was done, he licked one time up to his nose.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure he did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got to
Um,
clean yourself afterwards.
Yeah.
But then Alistair he just becomes a flame cat. He's just a cat made of flame, right?
Yep.
He went through a handful of transformations here, so I'm trying to make sure I got it all correct.
It's hard to keep straight. First he was a green pillar of flame, then he was a flame cat, and then he was like not a flame cat anymore. And then...
Yeah. So Victor's a little weirded out, and he asks Alistair what's going on, and Alistair answers him, and then the green-eyed cat answers him out of Alistair's mouth. And Julian comes along, and everyone discusses for a short minute.
Wow, this is weird.
Yeah, I put the 3 and then in parentheses 4. I'll chat for a while.
Yeah, because I was talking through Alistair as the notorious GEC.
Yes, notorious GEC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then everything gets quiet.
And then everyone gets quiet.
And then everything goes blank. And then we all get absorbed into our own duels.
Our own bubble universes where we fight with the nucleus of the Tattered King individually at the same time.
The Tattered King threatens to make us die in our own special hells.
And we each have our own episode.
We do.
Except, Richard's in Max's episode because whatever. But
I still managed to find myself like into another episode.
And I was listening to that one too. Like we were actually all here. I just didn't. I was on mute. If you can imagine that, I didn't say anything.
Like just listen really, really hard in the episode. Like you might be able to hear the sound of Steven muted.
You can hear Steven giggling.
Yes. So
no, my microphone was not. I mean,
at the same
I wasn't recording myself. So
yeah.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but you kind of like do the same kind of like, I wouldn't even call it, I guess you could call it goading from the Tattered King nucleus of like, why didn't you join me? And then you give like the same description because we all fight the same manifestation.
Well, I don't think you gave us all the same description.
I think it was because I was listening to it today. It sounded like
gave us the
some
same
of
description.
it was scripted, like some of it was the same thing, and then it became personal. So it was like he was talking to all of you at the same time, and that separation for each one was its own personal thing based on what he offered you before, and like you could have not done this. I could have not killed you here now.
No, I changed my mind.
He's threatening you basically, like giving you that last chance to try and like you could join me and we could do so much more kind of deal.
That would have been really funny to do, to set up all of the guest spots and then just have one of us turn coat at the very last second.
It's just Victor's
I didn't
heel
think
turn.
You would, but I mean, it could have happened, I guess.
You know what I was thinking about
that
a
was
lot,
in
and
your
I think I'll join you.
but
That would have been great. Just be like, yeah. Sorry, everybody. I'm gonna fight you guys now. I wonder if I did. If I did that, Eliana just would have been like, "Oh no, just pull them." Sorry, no, God, I'm gonna send you back immediately. You don't do this episode.
Sorry, we had to schedule you all.
That's okay. It was short. You guys, you go get lunch now, I guess. I mean, or stick around.
Yeah. It was a different conversation, but they all ended with "I'm done talking," and then Adam describing the visage because we all needed to hear it, and not just us, but the other players because we brought back all the guest stars. They needed to hear the description for their session, so Adam had to present it each time.
So my backup for this fight was the Dread Tech crew, which was Zaus, Sylvia,
how you doing?
and Nitz and Blip.
And Sylvia shut down your patriotic way of thinking.
Yes, very much so. It was very nice to be talked back into. You're an asshole. Yeah, you're right.
You're an asshole.
You're not.
Yeah,
wrong.
we're all just used to it by now.
I'm gonna keep acting
What
like
you said
this.
something like your voice is cute or
Yeah,
something.
Your
I don't
voice was
remember
very
what.
nice.
Like
Yeah,
It's
it
like-
was an okay compliment.
No, but Sylvia is not nice.
Which I
Like, if you listen to Dread Tech, she is not nice at all.
in
Like she
Good.
she rags on Nico's character almost constantly. Like
That's really
side
upsetting.
remarks, just everything he does is she's got something. Just like, oh, that's stupid. Why would you even think about that?
I know what that's like.
But yeah, Julian did it in like a again a patronizing way, but I also meant that as well as Max me saying that.
I think
Oh,
the
that's a-
burning
that's a cool
It
voice.
was-
I like that voice.
I think
it
the
was
burning
all
question was whether that
Yeah.
was a remark from Julian
Mhm.
or a remark from Max.
Yeah, that was the verdict. Yeah, that was the question. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes is the answer. But and we'll
No,
see this
it's
with
all-
the rest of
it's all
the,
fun.
The rest of the people fighting is we get essentially super cardic. So we get
Yes.
we get guaranteed aces, which has never been done before.
Free aces for everyone.
Yes.
Woohoo.
We needed
I
them,
gave
all of
everybody
them.
an ace.
I don't think we would have succeeded if we didn't have those.
No.
So
Are
basically,
you saying that I padded the outcome?
I'm saying I think you gave us a fighting chance if we needed it desperately. I did at least.
I mean, we arranged it.
I was trying to
in
kill
the-
you.
in-
oh, you almost did.
We arranged it.
Well,
I mean, he
yeah,
did technically.
Because the Cardic was from Eliana, right? Essentially.
Yeah, it was
I
from
think so,
Eliana.
yeah.
Gave us, like,
yeah,
sort of
because
just
the
like a
red glow
magic
overcame
inspiration.
everybody.
Mhm.
Yep, it was from Eliana. Eliana gave you that because you went in going with what you drew.
Yep.
And then whenever that wave came over you of the red aura, that's whenever you get it. It's changed to an ace.
Yay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's essentially the fight goes as the following. I do poorly. Over and over again. Zaus just does the kaiju scale in was it a chain gun or a machine gun? I can't remember which one it was.
It was
Chain
a
gun.
yeah,
A
like it
Gatling
was a
gun.
Gatling
Gatling
gun.
gun, yeah. Just absolutely rips the nucleus to pieces with both of those synergizing very, very well.
It's insane.
Like Zaus does.
The kaiju scale is just a ridiculous item.
Mm-hmm.
It sets your strength to 30,
It's just utterly insane.
which is just ridiculous.
There's some really strong stuff in Dread Tech.
Yes, I could believe so. Well, it's a different combat system entirely too.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically just the Tattern King nucleus just wrecks my shit, diseases me, lowers my HP by half, and then keeps ability draining me for wisdom and charisma, and I think that's it. But
I kept taking your stats
Sylvia
away.
was able.
mhm.
So at one point, Sylvia was able to was able to fix the wisdom debuff.
Yes.
Because Sylvia was like, "Oh, if I can heal your body or your mind, which do you want?" And you were like, "Mind."
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it was compounding.
Yeah.
Like every time you lost, it was compounding.
Yeah, which is not great.
And if you hit 0, instant death.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you anytime your ability score goes to 0, you just
Which,
immediately die.
you know, quick aside, like I really like, at least I think the first that I had ever read about like what happens when your ability scores hit 0 was from like 3.5, and like there was like an example of what happens like for each ability score, like depending on like, oh well, you hit 0, so it's like, oh, strength, like your body basically just collapses on itself or whatever, and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. The best one
Max
was charisma.
exhaustion.
Yeah. The next one was charisma, because charisma, the example was like you become so reviled that just a mob shows out of nowhere and just
kills
lynches you basically. Like pitchforks, torches, the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
his charisma goes down so far that just like the Dread Tech crew turn on him and kill him.
That would be
In the
Yeah,
middle of the
Sylvia's
fight.
just like, no,
I'm not helping
I
anymore.
will not do this. I will not help you anymore.
You are too ugly.
Need to remove you from the
You are
world.
too ugly.
You are too ugly and you smell. But
That is something Sylvia would say.
yes. So I go down as a result of getting just ruined, but I get brought back to life because of the notebook, or the book rather. But eventually between Nitz and Sylvia and Zaus, mostly Zaus, they destroy the nucleus. It's unclear, but we win that fight. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The bubble shatters, but like I can't remember if like when the bubble shatters. Like
No, you did it.
You saw like
You
a
hit it with your
green
lightning gun.
light.
yeah.
Yeah. You did finish it with the lightning gun.
Yeah.
You finished it with your lightning gun.
It's like I have a really bad habit in most of my combat encounters about kill stealing with with the lightning gun. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yes. So you poured all of your energy
Yes.
that you had left in your body
Yeah, that's right.
into using the lightning
Yes.
gun.
Yeah. And you did get hit by that thing that went into your suit
Yes.
and was
the yellow disease.
The cloud.
Yes.
The yellow
cloud.
burp.
Yeah, the burp.
the burp. The yellow burp.
the eldritch burp of Haster.
Yes.
I think you described it as a burp. I feel
I
like you
remember
did.
it being
I
like
probably
gas,
did.
but yeah, it's probably a burp.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But and then that I get an injection from Nitz to help with my
Does not help.
condition, which really doesn't do anything.
It didn't help.
And then
we didn't know
help.
that.
Yeah.
You're like,
No,
oh,
you didn't know
thanks,
it
I
at the
feel
time.
better. You said I
not know
feel
it at the
better, but
time.
you didn't feel better.
I was at 1 HP.
Julian is a liar.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really bad about that, or good at it, depending on how you look at it.
Actually, like I feel like at the end though, Julian was like, I was actually kind of nice, like be like, yes, thank you. What you did, like, thank you for helping me. Yes, it helped, even though you felt like shit.
Probably because I'm like really tired of almost dying, so I'm like, I should
Yeah.
probably start thanking these people before I go.
It was just like 2, 3,
Three.
Which would have,
So
3, yeah.
it's Star Spawn.
the Star Spine. We didn't need the book.
No, but I
don't
No,
almost
you didn't need the. Well, there wasn't a book at the time.
Yeah, there wasn't a book. No, the Star Spine.
I mean, the book was
and then
there,
you
but
fell.
name wasn't.
But the whole protection.
Yeah, you
by
fell
putting
off
a
the
name-
building.
fell off the building.
That was the book, and then
Impaled.
Detlib took you down.
Impaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, impaled.
Yeah, Detlib and/or Shamblers took you down,
Yeah.
and that was book 2, and this was book 3.
Yeah, and we're not even
Yeah.
going to count the dream sequence in which everyone died. But that's another
Yeah, yeah.
instance
I mean,
of me
that's-
going down.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Absorbed
dead man
into
walking.
the face.
Plus, you lost an arm before you even started the campaign.
Yeah.
But I thought you said
Yeah.
that Julian was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, yeah, he keeps coming back.
Yeah. Sounds like he's the Undertaker.
Dead man walking.
Just keeps coming back from the dead.
I need knee.
And then he changes his gimmick up in the middle of everything, and all of a sudden he's a biker.
Yes.
And then he
All of a
rips out
sudden,
of he
Max
rips
Steele.
out of the he tears up
He decided
the
to-
whole ring.
Yeah, the way Julian needs to come back from all of his sustained injuries and deaths is I need more knee braces and more alcohol.
Yes.
That's how I keep going. But yeah, that's the end of my side battle, final battle.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Victor's.
Yes.
So let's see. What did I write for mine? So I don't want to try to remember it all. Yeah, so
Victor
Skylar
is
and
Sasset.
Gabby get brought in. For me.
Tattered King
Victor's just like,
laments
screw you,
Victor.
you're a jerk. He like Tattered King's
Yeah,
like, you should have
Victor's not
joined me.
having it.
And Victor's like, whatever, I never would have joined you, you idiot.
Idiot.
Skylar and Gabby both appear like completely leveled up from the last time. Like everyone else just sort of showed up, you know, like Nitz was a little bit more experienced and he had friends. And like later Baby and Varath showed up and did what they were supposed to do the first time.
Well, Baby and Varath also
To
did
be
gain
fair,
a few
y'all-
things.
Yeah, they gained a
Y'all
little
fuck
bit.
shit up.
Yeah.
Actually,
Gabby
Victor,
and
you fucked
Skylar
up
are like-
their Okay, I got to point this out. Victor fucked it up for both of them not being able to do their like finishing moves because
Yeah, but
you
then they
talked
could
first
do
bar
it in-
down and then you threw an axolotl barrel.
Yeah. But then they got to do it for Alistair in a minute.
They did.
But yeah, Skylar and Gabby appear, and they've both like crazy leveled up because Gabby has like upgraded her mech like a billion times and has got slightly better spells or whatever. And Skylar has literally evolved into a magic light god of some kind.
Full on deity at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Like
full
Victor
deity.
got some good help.
Yeah.
Richard, you were good help.
No. I didn't mean it that way.
I know.
I mean, at least somebody got
Alistair
some good
was-
help.
Alistair was still just a baby god.
Little tiny baby guy.
Little tiny kitty god.
I dropped the cap of the pen I
Little
was
cat guy.
playing.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, that's going to bother me. Anyway, yeah, Victor, there's a lot that goes on in Victor's fight. It is
I think it was the longest of the
He
three.
was the longest of the three.
it was definitely the
Yeah.
longest of the three. Yeah, Gabby uses the explosive finish and it works, which is great because it did not work the
no,
last
it
time.
didn't.
Sean rolled terrible the first time. Skylar made an electric light army, not an electric light orchestra.
Although
Well, I mean, they
I would
could've
love
been
to hear. I would love to hear like Mr. Blue Sky playing like over top of them attacking Haster.
Haster does a thingy where it does a sing and Skylar fails at counterspell, which is funny because you'd think that a god wouldn't fail at counterspell, but it does.
It's also fighting an elder, like old one, which is
Right.
probably stronger than most gods.
Probably.
Yeah, I would
I don't
say
have
so.
a good sense of these things.
mean,
Victor.
It's all a loose sense in general anyway. It's not like there's a real hierarchy to it.
Mm-hmm.
No, there really isn't.
Victor summons a chaos barrel again, and it's like one of the best ones because it's like, oh, the person thinks that the barrel was its best friend, and forgets everything that happened in the last hour and thought it was playing with the barrel. And then Adam took like 10 minutes and was just like, nah, it doesn't work. Because Victor just throws a barrel and it goes break, and then nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
He also tried to stun him. That didn't work either.
Yeah.
Victor just does not succeed on a lot. Gabby keeps getting beaten up real bad because Gabby keeps failing those saves.
Yeah.
I tried to
Adam
kill
was
Gabby
ready to
twice.
Adam was ready to kill Gabby. Just ruin Sean's
It's
show.
like, y'all gotta hurry up before Gabby dies. y'all need some successes.
It's because you knew that if you threatened to kill Victor, Victor'd just be kind of like whatever.
Well, Victor dies.
Like
Because-
I welcome it. Yeah, Victor does.
like
the
threaten to
power
kill
word
somebody
kill.
else, and Victor's gonna care.
Power
Yeah.
word kill gets thrown out, and Skylar fails counterspell again, unfortunately. And Victor's wraps hold him up. And then Victor doesn't die because of the book or Alistair or something. And
Book.
and then he bites the biggest eyeball on a tentacle because there's lots of those.
Finally. We've been waiting for this for a while.
Constantly forming and
The
unforming.
last time he bit an old one, it was bad.
I know, but it's fun for podcasts.
But
Yeah.
Egon, you said biting old ones was bad.
And like the Raps were doing their own thing, like probably I think pulling power away from the nucleus and everything. But Victor just wanted to embarrass Haster. It was just like I've already pretty much died once. I'm going to die again, maybe. I just want this guy to feel crappy for a minute. That was Victor's like, haha. I'm going to show you, I'm going to learn about your losses.
I'm gonna.
And what's interesting is that
you nerd.
which also did psychic damage to it as well. So
yeah, but
like,
Victor also got a vision, essentially, of the current battle, meaning that Haster was losing the battle.
yeah,
That's the way I interpret it.
It's like I might be dead, but you're going to be embarrassed, loser.
God, you're
Exactly.
gonna have so much egg on your face.
And yeah, the bond that you made with basically an appendage of Haster that was disconnected from him so long that it developed a mind of its own, latched onto you, absorbed your way of thinking versus forcing a way of thinking on you, and it absorbed everything that you were taking in to protect you.
Yeah. And so that was sweet. And then
sweet
Gabby
and sweet.
Gabby
Sweet,
and
dude.
Skylar both heal Victor up, and then they gotta go. So Eliana sends them away. And then that was pretty much the end. Just some nice goodbyes to Skylar and Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Victor's episode.
And saggy raps.
Saggy raps.
Oh yeah, and the
Saggy
raps are all
raps, yeah.
like Victor's healed up, but the raps are all saggy and weak because they just ate a nucleus of Haster.
Hefty,
Exactly.
hefty. Wimpy,
Everyone's
wimpy,
eating
wimpy.
stuff.
Yeah, we just like eating stuff.
The raps learned how to eat from Victor.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely the hardest one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
for all y'all, there was a lot of fails.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because Sean had a couple of bad rolls with the saves. Skylar didn't have to save, but Skylar's rolls were just not good either. Like to fail counterspell twice. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the dice roll. But
No, yeah, it's
Sucked.
just how I think it played out really well though.
Yeah.
Still, even with bad, I mean, I don't think rolls, like whether it's good or bad, it's going to be good or bad like story. I feel like the rolls are what makes the story, and I think it turned out really well.
Counterspell is also really, really good considering what it does. But like there has to be a hard counter.
But
for
Power
it.
Word Kill
Yeah.
is a high level spell that's outside of its limit, and that's a you either make it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like
exactly.
It was really,
and I
really
think
ridiculous in the scheme of things when Alistair managed to counter it, like at the end of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like it required
Oh my
a lot
God.
of things, including a massive roll and bonuses and like contributions from others. Like
yeah. Plus the way that Skylar came in, it kind of helped that Skylar just wasn't like all powerful. Like they only had so much power they could use, and so it didn't make the fight so easy for Victor, and it gave Victor the opportunity to end it. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, because Skylar, like while being a god, was still stuck in Haster's reality in that moment. Skylar knew what was going on around them, but still they were stuck in that reality.
yeah.
Right. And then we get to Alistair's episode.
Oh boy.
As I think I said in the episode when we all got back together, it had a bit of a different tone.
Yeah, this one's called The Final Battle Part 6, Oops, All Gods.
Like in retrospect, it probably would have worked out better for us if we had like maybe arranged like the help a little differently, but it's fun.
Yeah, but all the
well-
characters got to connect with the characters that they connected the most with.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Definitely.
it was done based on who connected with who, which Julian only connected with Nitz, but he got a whole team out of it.
Yeah, so it made sense because like Victor connected with Gabby and with Skylar pretty well, and obviously Baby and Varath connected with
I
Alistair.
mean, it definitely all makes sense. But if we were trying to do strategery, like
I don't know what Victor would have done if Baby showed up.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have made sense.
it might be a fun one
we
if
did
later.
set
What am I
up
doing here? Where's the cat? I want to ride him.
Maybe we've just been like, where's the cat? Oh, I see the cat over there. Hey, kitty. like
So if that
Wrath would have
had
been
happened
like,
and he had
"Why's the
tried,
cat not here?"
Where is he?
I brought milk.
Well, at least Eliana did us that song.
Yeah. Oh, but with Victor's, it did set up. Okay, well, one person wasn't rolling for those saves.
That is true.
For the
Exactly.
That is true.
Which
yes.
I think me did like point that out. It was like, why didn't? Okay, they were like, okay, well, I know now why Skylar didn't roll, but why isn't Alistair rolling? And I'm like,
well,
tap in my head.
Wait a
that
couple
meme.
more episodes and you'll know why.
I forgot to pay attention. Did Baby or Varath have to roll?
no.
No,
None
so
of,
they're
none
just
of the
all
three of
gods,
us rolled.
yeah.
No. Nope. It was
Take that, Dread Tech.
or
was a very-
god-like. That was my rule for that. Was everything
Yeah.
that was god or god demigod or whatever didn't have to roll.
Varath, definite demigod. Baby, definitely godlike.
Yeah,
If not technically a god.
Looney Tunes rules like
Yeah,
Toon
there's
Cat
a lot of
rules.
Looney Tune shit going on here.
Yeah, it got pretty wacky.
Yeah, wacky is a perfect
Satan
word for
shows
it.
up. I didn't expect that.
Yes.
Satan shows
Straight
up
up Satan.
twice. Satan shows up twice and gets
Twice.
annoyed about it.
Stop calling me.
I am where I aim.
Yeah, that was the one I liked. Like, I aim where I aim. That's pretty good. I like that one a lot.
Oh man, but yeah, tons of fun. And pretty much, I guess the whole fight pretty much went along the lines of Alistair has some kind of like sassy thing to say to Haster. Haster tries to do something to Alistair, but it is diminished or thwarted, and then just insanity ensues on the hero's side.
Yeah, because Alistair successfully used Counterspell again.
Yeah, he successfully used Counterspell again. He did like a time rewind on one of Haster's turns. Like the very first thing that Haster did was like Alistair was resistant to necrotic, so he only took half damage. So yeah, it was just a whole bunch of like, yeah, no, I'm not really gonna let you do anything, and we're just gonna clown on you the whole time.
Yeah,
the one,
but go ahead. Go ahead.
The one thing I do think would have been interesting, albeit Adam, it probably would have been a nightmare for you to spin on your heels to do, is if Wrath actually broke the bottle that contains the actual how that would have played out. Like, I was listening to like, man, if that actually went through, Adam would have been sweating.
Okay, so just the
Hold on, I gotta get my book.
mention of it, just the mention of it, my brain was going a million miles per hour trying to think of how to handle that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Which
when
I
heard it.
mean,
was like, oh god, no.
I
know
was
how I would
ready
have handled it.
just in case, but it was not going to be good for any of the heroes. It would have turned that fight into a much longer fight.
Oh, I'm sure.
Would it have been? Would it have been a 3-sided fight at that point? Would Ithaqua have wanted to fight Haster as well?
Well, I had set that up ahead of time that Ithaqua and Haster were at least working together for a common goal. Maybe not necessarily allies, like officially allies, but they were definitely working together and building an army.
Cool. At least Dagon didn't show up in my fight.
Yeah.
You bite me, huh? I'll show you.
Oh, jeez.
Although if he hit me with the tail, it would just hurt this time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It wouldn't have all of the horrible shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I gotta say though, like in the Alistair version of the battle there, I think maybe the craziest bit of it was the cloning potions.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And then everything killing each other afterwards.
Yeah.
And
I gave
Adam
him-
at one point was just like, time passes extremely weird in the Dreamlands. This all makes sense for some weird
Hell
reason.
yeah.
It's like, why is Haster just sitting there letting them have like conversations, you know?
Because Looney Tunes logic,
Yeah.
that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Toontown Logic took over, and then they're fighting in the cloning potion. Like, oh my god! I did not expect him to use the cloning potion in the way that it worked out on on Varath, where he just
with him
grew a
basically
shit ton
turning
of
into
arms.
a Heckinson carries.
And then he cut them all off in rage.
Yeah,
But he wasn't mad at himself. Like the logic.
the Hecatonkeries.
well, all the arms had a mind of their own at that point because of Toontown logic.
Yeah.
And the heads and the
Although especially with the mention of Bruce Campbell, like that's kind of how I was imagining Varath in that whole exchange.
Okay.
yeah.
Because he mentioned like being like Bruce Campbell and Evil Dead like fighting his own hand.
I swallow your soul.
Yeah.
I swallow your soul. I swallow your soul.
So that's kind of what I was imagining, except with like 100 hands and like multiple heads.
Oh, and the first thing immune to knockback.
Oh yeah, that was the big.
Yes,
that was
yes.
the, big
The
reveal.
first actual true
Second.
knock.
What was the first?
Well, yeah, I
Oh,
guess
second.
Ubo Sothla also did not. Get
Ah, that's a good
That,
point.
that is true. That is true. He was also rooted into the ground.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with Ubo Sothla, there might have been a bit of a loophole there, but like with Haster, it was just straight up 100% immune.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Which
Ubo Sothla was rooted deep into the ground, so there was no pushing him.
Like
pushing
he got pushed, he just didn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
either
Varath got
either that or the whole Earth, or the Dunzaltara.
just
just
rotated a little
rotated.
yeah, just shifts slightly.
just knocked the world off its axis.
bit. Alistair broke the world with that.
Yeah, but it was in the
More than
past,
it was
so
already
we know it
broken.
all works
Don't worry
out.
about
Yeah.
it. It's fine now.
Yeah.
See
it happened
the
how it
trick
was supposed
is
to happen.
the trick is that the planet actually would have self-destructed, like except for that push in the past. That push in the past
there you
is
go.
what saved the world.
Good job.
Then they dead Troy all the nuclei around.
Yes, they do dead Troy it. They dead Troy it.
Destroy it.
Look, the word underlines Alistair, Varath, Aster, counterspell. I'm going to miss a typo or two. Yeah, but like Varath gets like the final blow technically, and then like time stops and Alistair zip zaps all around and starts just killing all the Haster nuclei or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking all the bubbles.
Breaking all the bubbles.
Burst your bubble guy.
Saving all the peoples.
Saving them all, yeah.
I do think, like, right at the end there, like, his baby was leaving and, like, left his cloning potion. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at first I was just thinking, like, how crazy that could be. And then when you mentioned about it getting, like, sucked up, I was like, oh, no. What have we done?
It gave me a perfect, like, way to break all the barriers, was, like, cloning Alistair in that cyclone form and just blowing them all up and saving everybody's life.
Yeah.
Right.
For now.
So were the killing blows all dealt at the same time? How did that all work out? Or is it just sort of, time is weird? Like, because each of us killed our nucleus.
Yes.
So when did that happen? Because I know that when Victor was killing the nucleus, he saw the green zip zaps going around because, spoiler alert, we recorded my segment last, even though it's not last in the thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So
I
Yeah,
think
we'll get to that in one of the questions, because one of the questions did go on that. So they all pretty much ended at the same time.
cool. That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify that and make it known that Alistair did not defeat Victor's Haster nucleus, and it was Victor that did it with his reps.
Yes.
He wanted,
It was the raps that.
Like
you were
Alistair
able to
did
defeat-
not destroy all of the Hasters.
No. But he did destroy the bubbles that was projecting the Hasters into them for the other ones, which you were
Technically,
still
Varath
trapped
destroyed
inside.
your Haster.
That's also true,
Well,
yes.
But the bubble was still there, and Haster could still project into it. But Alistair blinded him
He was blinded by the light.
Oh, I knew you were going to do
by
it.
the light. Because it required his gaze to even be able to project anything there. And Alistair's column of flame, and especially the cloning of the multiple columns, blinded Haster from a great distance away.
Nice.
So he lost the connection to contain everybody in his realities.
Yep.
And then are we doing epilogues here? Or are we doing epilogues for campaign?
Oh, the
wrap
epilogues
up?
were
We're
in,
not at the epilogue yet because we still got
we're
one
not
more
still-
episode.
we still got one more.
We still
Yeah,
got
we just got
one
one
more.
more episode, and then we got
But I mean, we
Dead
may as
try.
well at least like, well, I don't know,
I was just saying,
like epilogues.
time wise.
Baby isn't pressed. Varath is emotional. I like that.
Yes.
Varath
Yeah.
was very emotional.
That's true.
Shout
That's how
out
it ended.
to all of our
yeah.
guests that came on. Everybody did a
Yes.
great
Oh
job.
yeah, totally.
Absolutely, it was absolutely great having everybody back around again.
I was about to say, you ever try scheduling 9 people to get on different recordings to make sure stuff goes through correctly? Adam will tell you
Yeah.
it's not fun.
people from all different parts of the country
Yes.
or other country,
Yeah.
Yep.
different parts of the continent.
Time zones, all that.
Yeah. hmm But we pulled it off.
We did.
We got everybody back with their crazy schedules. It worked out.
Even our schedules were crazy. At that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
time, it was.
I think it took like 2 solid months to record those 3 episodes.
probably so. Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah. So I guess part 7.
Yep. Part 7. Everyone.
Yeah.
The first part of part 7 was everyone recapping their episodes.
Yeah, because we literally all
their individual
were
episodes.
like, "Hey, what the fuck just happened?"
Right, and
Yep.
all of
Yeah,
us, all of us
that's
didn't
when I
listen to
gave
all
that-
of our others.
I gave the intro instead of doing an outro in that episode, and I was like, "Hey, we're doing something a little different at the beginning." They're going to relay what happened in their episodes because not everybody had listened to it at that point.
Right.
So, basically, Victor, Julian not doing great. Alistair on the up and up.
Yeah.
Almost, some would say too good.
Too good.
Yeah. Well, Victor was okay. He was exhausted, but Victor was fine. It was his wraps that weren't. So Victor looked like a crypt folk with wraps sagging off of him.
So it was kind of like
It's probably the
tiered
grossest
thing.
he's looked.
Like Julian looked like in horrible shape. Alistair looked to be in better shape than he even should be.
Some would say peak performance.
Some would say peak performance. And then
Well,
Victor
you were
is
a
like
pillar of
doing
flame.
fine, but like his wraps were not.
Exactly.
But
layers.
we kind of quickly identify that peak performance is not what it seems and might be very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yes, quite in fact.
So we attempt to kind of stop the power, or at least dampen the power. So I would remember casting dispel magic.
You did dampen it.
Holy shit, it worked,
Yeah.
guys! Write it down.
it worked, and
Right before the end of the
then-
campaign. Dispel magic did something.
and then Victor just reaches in and grabs Alistair and pulls out like a damp, weak little black cat.
Yes,
You gag Tulsha, and he hacks out a hairball.
yes,
Yep, exactly. And the hairball is Alistair.
covered in ecto,
just like when we met him. Just
Yes.
regular Alistair.
Which- if I'm being perfectly honest, like I was really expecting Alistair's bit in the episode to be like relatively brief. Just kind of a like, shit's going like horribly awry. I can't really stay near y'all, so bye.
Oh no, you don't get to
Bye.
leave that easily. You got another episode to record.
Yeah. The way I see it is that Victor was able to temporarily pull the little bit that was the original bit of Alistair out for a goodbye.
The other bit that I was going to say is that I think that ultimately it worked out a lot better the way that it did. So yeah, like thank you for believing in the Alistair that didn't believe in you.
Yeah, but when he was leaving, he was like, oh yeah, I'll miss you guys.
It
And,
definitely wouldn't have gotten that.
thanks
bit.
for the help.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
know.
really have gotten that bit. It wouldn't have been as emotional. Like, so yeah, it worked out really nicely.
I got what I wanted, peace. And then he just disappears in a big green flame
will
and
it
burns up
die.
and dies.
It wouldn't have been quite like that. Like, I mean, it still would have been like at least somewhat of a like trying to like thank you and try and make it clear that he was trying to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
But like it worked out a lot better the way that things did.
Yeah.
And I guess knowing what we know now, leaving without that closure, I guess, kind of would have made sense for a different reason.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean with the way that I did the epilogue?
So
So Alistair pieces out after that. And then Julian's lying there and everyone comes over and is like, oh, what's going on? And Gerbo's like, I'm going to help. And then he's like, I can't help. Julian gets out of his mech. You know, he takes off like his helmet or whatever.
What's the
turns it off.
The dumb meme where it's like, I'm going to fight this disease. And then it's the boxer sitting down drinking water. It's like, damn, disease got hands.
And he's like artificially like aging and just all his energy is being drained away. He looks like a Julian raisin.
Julian jerky.
Yeah, Julian raisin. He's
2.0.
going back to being all jerky.
Yeah.
Another
and
callback.
then he's like, it'll be fine. We'll help Alistair later. You know, it's just Julian's in full denial mode.
Yes.
Full on denial.
Victor's, you know, at this point still under the influence of his injection. So like Victor's got a good understanding of what's happening. But you know, it's, you know, eventually it's going to start, it starts wearing off a little bit. And then Julian decides that he's going to die, and there's his eyes, you know.
But I didn't really decide I was going to die. It's really, I didn't have a
You did when you said, fix my mind, not my body.
Guys, I'm going to die.
Well, I guess
the thing is even if lesser restoration wouldn't have done stuff to fix my body, but it was kind of like, yeah, it hit.
But I liked the theme, how you protected your mind over your body. That fit in really well with what the end result ended up being.
And that's kind of what I was going with. Just like, well, knowing what I know, you know, mind is going to be a lot more important than this body.
Yeah, and I mean, you didn't even know that. Well, Julian didn't know that his mind was going to be swapped.
No.
No. Wait, what are you talking about?
So
is that in another episode?
Yes. So whenever he like when he blinks and it's like he looks confused, is because it's not Julian at that point. As the epilogue tells us. But it swapped right before he died. So it was just like his eyes glaze over, he blinks, he's like confused, and then boom, dead. And then it just ends, like the episode ends.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
And then you get to listen to
hard stop right there.
And
so what must it be like to be that
Spanish.
guy?
Yeah,
that it's just like,
there were so many. Like on some of the last bits of episodes, goes listening to them, it's like there is such a wild tonal shift of the end of the episode and this blaring ad that happens right on the end of it.
Like you're still trying to process, and it's just like Sabado.
I haven't had
like,
the chance to listen to the officially released episode.
Oh, you haven't?
Did we? Not the official one. I listened to the one that just sort of the raw, that Adam sent us. Did you add any music at the end, or did it literally just end in play an ad
music,
and it's over?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay. I wasn't sure.
I ended it like season 2 where it plays our outro music, because there is no outro.
Cool.
So it's like super fucking sad and making people cry.
Yeah.
And then
they listen to the
just
epilogue
like
and
the
cried
end of
again.
season 2. Like it was like season 2, season 4, like that same really emotional ending.
And then I get an ad for the Carolina Renaissance Fair.
Huzzah!
Exactly.
Julian is dead.
It's Pirate Weekend.
But yeah, everybody believes Julian's dead right there. So we got some like, fuck you for making me feel things there. Before the epilogue, and I'm like, haha, you just wait.
You were made to feel emotions, you nerds.
I do have to wonder though, what was it like for the like one that they swapped with Julian? Like knowing it's like, okay, like we really need to preserve this guy's mind, so we need you to go die for him.
It was.
I like to think it was just 3 or 4 of them, and it's like, we don't like Barry that much. Let's just Barry.
It was
okay. Well, I can
just tell him he's swapping with someone else. He doesn't have to know. That's why he was so
Do we want to
surprised.
talk about it now?
Like, wait, what? This wasn't the deal.
Well, I can say it. We're about to talk about the epilogue, but I can say why that Yith volunteered to do it. So
He was just a big fan.
in the visions,
That
whenever
was
it's
future
seen
Gerbo.
that whenever it's seen that Julian is like passing that engram to a Yith, that's the same Yith that another Julian in another not Julian anymore, the custodian in another form is traveling around different times, different places, dimensions, everything, and he actually met that Yith in his future, but in the past, kind of deal. So it was a voluntary swap.
Mm-hmm.
That is a strong friendship right there. They would die for you.
I was John
Literally.
Connor telling Kyle Reese to go back in time to impregnate my mother with me.
You've got to go back in time and be my dad.
Go be my dad.
You gotta be my absent father.
So I can have.
You just can't stick around because I gotta hate you.
Go back in time and not be my dad, and then I'll have all of these terrible, not memories of having a happy childhood with my father. Go.
A happy childhood isn't going to save the world.
It's not. But he can dream. But yeah, the first part
epilogue time.
First part of the epilogue starts with Alistair and the reveal, I guess.
The I guess more official reveal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's breaking the fourth
It
wall
was
again,
revealed
talking
that
directly
Alistair
to the
was
audience.
Toolshed at the end there.
Okay, real quick, because this is going to be a weird pull. Okay, so if anyone has listened to I can't remember the name of the CD, but there's basically an X-Files CD that had a bunch of music from the show on it. But at the very end of the CD, there is a bonus track that is essentially the cigarette smoking man explaining the entire alien controversy. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that exists because I remember listening.
I did not.
Yes.
No.
I didn't know
I did
that.
not know
no.
about that.
Well,
I do know at the end of one of Weird Al's CDs, there's like 15, 20 minutes of silence, and then he just screams like a whole lot.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
But essentially that whole, because it's not even on the CD in terms of its tracks, it's just hidden. That's exactly what this reminded of like all of the different explanations behind all of our parts in the epilogue. I'll have to go find that so people can track that down. But Richard, go explain to us that you're Tolsha?
Yes.
Yeah, in my
he's
notes I
actually
almost put,
Tolsha.
hello, Tolsha here.
Hello,
Hello,
Alistair.
Tolsha, my old friend.
And I guess the other thing that I wanted to kind of do with this was kind of tie it back to the idea that all of the like outros that you hear with like Alistair explaining what was going on or just talking in general was like Alistair as Tolsha.
Yeah. No, and that makes sense. For the record, the one where like I talk directly to Victor, that one's not canon. That was just funny.
but yeah, so all of Alistair's like outros are, I guess, in a way canon because it's just Tolsha like basically just talking to the viewer or listener.
He's toying with the viewer almost.
Yeah,
He's like, ooh,
toying.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Oh, he does that. He does that a lot. Like any opportunity that I could, I tried to use my outros to either like just try and push like some kind of alternate narrative to try and get them to think the wrong thing, or like to try and like just hint towards something really like vaguely like that's going to happen later. Like I was constantly doing that kind of thing with the outros.
No, that was good. That's to play that up like for so long that's a pretty big buildup.
Although if I'm being perfectly honest, like it's something that I didn't even decide until much later. Like the original outros, I just thought, why not just have fun with it, whatever. Like the whole like Alistair breaking the fourth wall thing just kind of started as a joke, and then later on it was just like, yeah, but it could actually make sense.
And I could do it way better than She-Hulk.
But yeah, like and as far as like Evangeline and everything goes with that, like that one took me a while to kind of like come up with, and I bounced some ideas with Adam, and we kind of like forged it into what it ended up being. And it's just like the most messed up way that I could think to kind of deal with that is that like the Evangeline that he kept seeking like the whole time was never even really real.
Plus, it was already a part of him at that point.
Yeah, and was already a part of him. Like
already in it.
and like he was still like seeking her, not knowing that.
No, I thought
Yeah,
that was,
and
that was
for
pretty
the
cool.
longest time, Richard did not know that Alistair actually was Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that
before we ever recorded anything that Alistair was going to collect all the parts and become Tulsa, and he was Tulsa all along. But he didn't know.
like it was probably sometime in like the third season, like probably like mid to
Like
late
at the
third
very,
season.
like really, yeah, later. Yeah.
It was like when
it was
I
like, okay,
understood that was what was going to happen with Alistair.
Yeah. I was like, okay,
But,
well, here.
We're
This
gonna.
is, this is how
you're
we're going
Tulsa
to do
now,
this.
so deal with it.
Yeah, well, apparently
But
everyone
it's still-
cried when they learned
Yeah.
about Tulsa and stuff.
Everyone cried.
Everyone was talking about crying after the epilogue, so I'm assuming that's what they were crying.
I mean,
over.
obviously, I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of depressing, really. Like, I mean, like when it's all said and done, like Tulsa is just a super lonely being. Like, you can't just like
Look who
go
he
chill
picked
with
as
his friends all the time.
I was so I was so how do you describe it? Unfulfilled that I went to a universe in which I didn't have companionship and then wanted companionship.
Yeah, pretty much. He made up his own companionship.
Well, all
And-
the other Alistairs were just Alistair too, right?
Yeah,
They were
all the
just
other Alistairs were
Tulsa
just
just
Alistairs.
made himself
Just-
an Alistair, and he made himself Evangeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
To kind of
And Detlib.
copy the Alistairs and Evangelines that did actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Detlib would have also been like a part of all of that. Like,
Yeah, Detlib itself was a part of Tulsa.
which is why like Alistair
Wasn't
saw
even its own
himself.
cat. Yeah,
Take that,
Take that.
Detlib.
Yeah.
Detlib, you don't even
Your
it's
name
not
is
even
a
a
joke.
real cat.
It's not even a real name.
follower of Tulsa.
It's not Bill and Ted backwards at all.
Wait, what?
Holy shit.
Rufus.
Detlib, Bill, Ted backwards.
Fun fact about the first Bill and Ted movie. Bill and Ted are there, and then their future selves show up, and then their future selves go, Rufus, and that's how they learn his name is Rufus.
Yeah.
But then later they're excited and they call him Rufus. Rufus never actually said that my name is Rufus.
Yeah.
You know, I never noticed that, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rufus's name is like a grandfather paradox. Yeah.
Although that movie does fun
causes
things like
itself
that,
to
which,
happen, or a bootstrap paradox.
yes.
Excuse me.
which incidentally, like
Bootstrap.
that movie is largely kind of how I based like the way that like the time travel would work, like surrounding all of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
mostly those kinds of ideas of those jokes of like, hey, later remind me to come back here and like hide the keys like behind the sign. Like, okay, oh hey, the keys are here. But basically that idea that like anything that happens like has already happened, like because it's going to happen, it's already happened.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was Victor's part in the epilogue,
Oh God.
which
I gotta say,
toiled
before
over.
we go into describing anything, bravo.
Yeah, that was really
on-
fucking
on
good, dude.
Oh,
Victor's
thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I toiled over that because Adam was constantly like, how are you working on your epilogue? And I was like, oh no,
I
don't know.
gave you a layout, and I was like, do with this what you want.
Yeah. So yeah, like I figured the best way to do it, and that's why sort of similar to Richard, the outros with Victor's diary, like, you know, the first one or two was just sort of a one-off where I thought it would be an interesting idea. And then I think the last diary entry I made before the epilogue, I made after the epilogue because we were still doing the outros after that. And so I made sure to say that, I don't think I'll be able to write in here until it's over.
Yeah.
But I figured that would be the best way to tell what happened to Victor, because time could pass. Because Victor, you know, in a way is the only one where we really get any details about what happened afterwards. Like Alistair,
The only
we
the only surviving party member, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just knew the basic details of like, his raps aren't going to work anymore. and you're going to find something that Julian left. And that was pretty much. Were there any other details that you remember telling me? I think that was the gist of what you gave.
The finding the ruins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which you went a different direction than I was even thinking of in a icy, cold place.
Oh yeah. 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 And so like I essentially started writing it out at the beginning, knowing where I needed to end up and trying to place landmarks there to follow. Like there had to be a reason why all of that would happen. And so
one of the other things is you knew that you were going to get to a point where you found the book or the engram that Max was supposed to record a message to Victor and or Alistair, like in this engram that also is the story that y'all did. Was the thing. So you didn't even hear it until you were recording. I had Max record it before you.
Yeah. So like a few of the details, leading up to that. So like it was the first entry was just like, oh, it's done. I'm tired. I can't write anything right now. And then we explained that the wraps aren't going to work anymore. He's not going to go out anymore. He's going to stay inside. Manrose took him, to the huge kitchen cafeteria thing, which is funny because Max and I came up with that idea independently.
Yes. Yeah. That was independent. Not crossed over at all.
Nope. That was great.
Since this is the episodes where we discuss things in more depth and point out things you might have missed, Victor ate Larry, and that's how he helped Juliet.
Yeah. Yep, that is how it
but it also, gave him the urge, take a daily walk, and then he met Albert.
I learned how to walk.
When I was writing that,
you learned how to walk.
When I was writing that, I was just like I was so excited. I was like, oh, he sees a cat and he names it Albert. That's perfect.
Yes,
that is perfect.
I put in sort of a conclusion on his sort of backstory with his mother and everything like that, and where he had held on to a piece of his mother since forever, and he was always afraid to eat it, and so he gives it to Luth because he knows Luth can handle that kind of stuff. And then I time jumped an entire year to when the new DDA is formed with Baram Chendir Gerbo, and that's what made him think about Julian and want to sort of look into it. And it turns out that Julian said, no one's allowed to eat me except for Victor, which is funny.
I like to think that happened like
that's
when we first signed on with the DDA. Yeah. Like he had already had enough of a bond with Victor at that point that like when Sarah had said, it's like, oh yeah, you're required to like be put in the crypt when you die. And like everything, and just like realizing that it's like, oh well, people could probably eat me. He probably just like pulled Sarah aside. It's like, hey, so the whole like eating thing, like after, like, can we just make sure that nobody does it? Like, I guess Victor's all right, but like nobody else, like,
Victor's okay because he knows Victor doesn't like eating people.
Do weird stuff.
That's why.
Don't do weird stuff with my dead body, please, unless it's my friend, in which case it's okay.
Yeah, and you have a curator that like can stop people from eating now.
Yeah,
and then I had to have a trigger for him doing it, and that's when I killed Janice.
I did not expect that coming at all when I was listening to it. It's like, oh, Janice just dies? Holy shit.
Yeah. But it's not like he got murdered.
Is this okay if I kill Janice? I was like, yeah, go for it. Like,
no.
I made sure Janice was.
I read the script I read the general script because he improv'd a lot of it. So
think about the poor Janice stands.
God, they're gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
All
and so
0.5 of them.
I made sure Janice got a little bit of a conclusion that he was doing better and stuff, but there was just stuff tugging at him, and I made that the nightmares. And Gerbo said, oh, he died peacefully in his sleep. Victor doesn't believe it. Victor believes he probably had like a heart attack or something like that from an especially bad nightmare.
Yeah.
Like you can die violently in your sleep. It's possible.
Yeah. And so, and that's what Victor would think, because before he had the bracelet that other Julian gave, and I miss Julian. I wonder what, going on. And so it's been over a year now. because this is the entry after I say it's been a year. And so it's been well over a year, and Victor's missing Julian bad. And he thinks if I have some Julian, then it'll be like Julian will be there. And then it's like Julian's there, and he starts he starts hallucinating and going nuts, which Adam put the music in, which I thought was a very good touch.
That was really good.
The fact that it was the theme song for the show, excellent.
Yeah. That was actually your recommendation for me to use the theme song in some way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Never mind. I said that.
I just found a perfect loop in it to get in there.
Yeah. So, but I knew that Victor had to go and find Julian and stuff, and so that was the trigger. And but I didn't even quite understand it. Yeah, exactly. And apparently it was the Yith that had already met Julian and knew what was going on.
Yep.
According to Adam, which I wasn't aware of that. I just knew that Victor would have these memories and need to go there, and it drove him there. He went all secret, he was acting crazy. He was acting like Julian because you get some of the characteristics of the people that you eat. And then I had a difficulty because I was like, well, he's not going to be writing in a journal in like this foreign land or whatever, because I decided on the ice, he went back and got some cold herbs like he'd had before because he could see that it was icy and all of that. And so that's how I came to the idea. I brought it to Adam and I was like, well, Yamnil gives him a recorder.
That was a good effect on the voice too.
Yeah.
Between doing the regular diary and the recorder.
Yeah.
And then,
I added the little page flips when he was writing.
Those are good. That was really good touch too.
It's really good.
That's how you could hear what was happening right up to the point where he touches the crystal.
Yeah.
And then afterwards. And of course, when he touches the crystal, you're just hearing what Victor was hearing. That's not part of the recording, which is why it had a different recorder effect than Victor's recorder. And there was no background noise.
Yeah.
Do we want Max to go on, or do we want to just finish up my thingy first? Because Victor bookends it.
Let's do Max's.
Okay.
Let's do Julian's.
Cool.
So
go ahead, Max. Tell us your thoughts.
So Victor finds the crystal, and basically it's basically a recording that I created for him to find, albeit whenever he did, and it was because unless you just didn't have that spur of the moment, I don't think you ever would have where
Nope.
where was that left off at.
It was Victor in a moment of weakness. That's what happened.
I wouldn't say weakness.
Like he was missing Julian so bad. He was like, I don't know if I'm going to be ever ready to do this.
Part of the grieving process to go to acceptance.
Yeah.
And eat your friend.
I mean, people grieve different ways. Okay.
And instead of acceptance, it drives you into madness and denial again.
You didn't know that at the time.
No,
you didn't know.
Seeing visions of Julian guiding him to ruins in the snow.
Yeah, now you know what it's like to be in my brain.
It's not fun.
No,
don't go there, people.
Wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, madness and acceptance are basically the same thing.
So essentially, what I did is created this engram to be found that would transfer both my last will and message, as well as all of the memories and experiences I had as Julian Cottage, into whoever interfaces with it. And that's kind of why I kind of title dropped the whole thing of this is my recounting of what I called the Darkwell Chronicles. Title drop.
He said the name of the thing.
I know. He said it. He said the thing. But
say the line, Julian.
I use my lightning gun. Yay!
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
But essentially, Adam and I kind of talked about where we kind of wanted to do in terms of a Julian story, and we kind of thought it would be an interesting thing of we talked about the Yith behavior of basically body swapping to preserve their race with unique individuals, and Julian had been one of those individuals. So he got yanked, as I describe it in the recording.
He got yiffed.
I got
You got yiffed.
Yiffed, like yeeted. into one of the Yith, and then
Yeethid.
basically a mutual relationship of them using me and then me using them. And then based off that experience, leaving to go off to do what I have to do, which was start the DDA. And I kind of breadcrumbed a little bit because I remember there was an interaction between Sarah and I where I was asking questions of like, okay, who started the DDA? Who was the founder of the DDA? And it was kind of just, dead end because there was no information on it. And I like to think that was a subtle nod of, oh, who is the founder of the DDA? Wink, wink, wink.
Which also, the DDA is just one faction of the organization.
The organization.
Yeah.
And that was the real,
the organization as a whole.
that was the real drop. So, wanted to tie this all in together, but at the same time, there is no explanation of how did Manrose get in touch with the DDA, and how did that whole building and everything get set up. And it was just like, the reason I don't know is kind of in line with what Alice or what Tulsa is I have to do that because
you haven't done it yet.
I haven't done it yet, therefore it hasn't happened. Therefore I have to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it happened in the past, but for your perspective, it has not happened yet.
And then to kind of keep it going as there has to be something, because I mean we're all pretty good together, but the three of us are not the last line of defense for everything that is going to challenge the DDA or the organization. There's it's so much one-sided a fight. So I kind of wanted to create this, there is a invisible hand, a hidden force kind of guiding us in the right direction of placing us exactly where we need to. And that's kind of the idea.
He's got a really big beard.
Yes, he has a massive beard. It's braided. That's where the idea of the custodian came into place as someone to kind of maintain things and keep things in working order and make sure everyone is going in the right direction.
And who better to do that than an Arcanist who can craft all of this crazy shit?
Guys, who made the silver
including
keys?
Silver keys.
Victor?
No. Yours are foil wrapped chocolate keys.
And
who put that silver key in the elevator to be used by us in that one instance and then put back?
Yeah.
Huh, weird.
Yeah.
Weird how that happens.
Yeah. And using the silver keys as many times as Julian would have, it would have basically made him immortal and not anything like he would have been when he was Julian. So he is the custodian. He is not the same person anymore.
Yeah.
He has the same memories, but
that
he's
doesn't
lived
matter.
so many lifetimes. He still has those memories.
They're just it's more of like a take those memories and all the other information and all the other memories you have. It's like just a tiny little fraction in the experience. Now that being said, very important. We'll discredit it and say that it was all
but
not.
But it's like if
Hell,
you
it was
are
the
your
founding
memories,
of the organization.
Yeah.
Like
but
it's
it's
very
like
important.
If you are your memories and like you have that much information stored so that your memories are like such a small portion of it, then yeah, it makes sense that you would kind of lose yourself in all of that.
Yeah, which he does say in the recording, or in the Ingram, like the imprinted Ingram.
And then,
But Victor doesn't care.
Oh, go back to
Victor wants to go hug his friend. Because I found all that out in the moment. I had more or less scripted the diary entries, and then when we got to the recorder part, it was sort of a scripted idea that I was acting out with some direction from Adam, and then I listened to what Max recorded and was just told to react to it. And so I did the only thing that Victor would have done, because Victor doesn't care if you're not the same person or anything like that. Victor wants to go give whoever this weird guy is that doesn't look like Julian or even sound exactly like him, he wants to go give him a hug and tell him that he missed him. And so that's
exactly
what Victor... and so Victor goes back and he tells Manrose to take him to the custodian. And Manrose says,
going down.
Going down.
Going down.
Ding.
Oh, of
and
course.
then there's a sound effect. There's like 3 or 4 sound effects.
How appropriate
There's
is
a
it
lot
that the last character to speak in the campaign
Is
is
Manrose? Very appropriate.
But yeah, like that was the only way I could think of. That was the only thing I could think that, Victor would do in the instance when he found out that in some small way Julian is still there. So
Yeah. And I think that puts a pretty nice bow on it.
Guys, that's it.
Yeah. I cried multiple times just editing it and quality checking it. Like, I teared up multiple times. I have not listened to it since it's released. I haven't listened to it since it released on the binge tier. But when I think about it, like, it's very emotional. Even for me.
Your diary entry is a tearjerker for sure, Steven.
yeah, that's what I was going for.
You did it.
When I was writing it, I was like, I'm going to make people feel
whenever
emotions.
I gave you the layout, I was like, people are going to cry. Like when I said it, I even told Alistair. I even told Richard. I was like, I gave him the layout. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I gave him the layout, and people are going to cry. Like when they hear Victor's diary entry, and I was not wrong.
It was a very
goal accomplished.
It was a very human interpretation of dealing with loss and grief, and you did a very good job of not making it over sensationalized or anything like that.
I think in an interesting way, like the epilogue episode kind of shows like a bit of a microcosm of like the characters, sort of in a way, in that like with Alistair's epilogue, it was very much still in that same like, oh, well, I'm kind of better than you, so I'm trying to explain something that you couldn't possibly understand to you kind of way. And like Julian's was like distant, like in that we're only really hearing it as like a recording from another character's perspective. Like it's not even really direct to the audience. But like Victor's, on the other hand, is maybe about as personal as you can really get, because it really is just comprised of like his diary entries, like his own personal thoughts to himself, basically. So I feel like in a way, like, those 3 kind of glimpses sort of speak to the characters, like even more than just the contents. I think even the format itself kind of reflects that.
Yeah, I was just tearing up having you explain that to me.
but yeah,
no, but you're totally right, and that's what I think all 3 of us were going for. It's like this is the last time we're going to be these characters. It needs to be good, and it needs to reflect the characters' journeys, and how they've grown and how they're processing what has happened to them. Because we all knew that we would be delivering it as our characters, even though one of them died and one of them ascended.
Right.
And so it had to be in that and because of the contrast between the 3, I think it worked really well. Like Alistair was up front and he's like, here's my deal. You'll figure it out maybe someday. Bye.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to point this out on the review summary that you made, Steven. It's 69 pages long.
Is it?
Nice.
No, it's 70 pages long.
I don't know. I see 69.
I see 69.
Yeah, I see 69.
Page
I'm
69
on page 70
69.
of 70 right now. The last 2 bullet points are on page 70.
69, dudes.
Hold on. I will.
That would be Yamnul.
I mean, Bill and Ted.
I know.
Oh, yeah, Yamnul would say that too, man.
We're sorry Yamnul didn't die, everybody.
I'm very.
Oh, we did.
No, just kidding.
We did not talk about how Yamnul annoyed the shit out of Julian before he died. Well, before he.
Oh my God! He was like, "Yeah, I'm really gonna miss you, man."
swapped.
It's like, I don't care. You're making this process so much worse.
I had to do it.
Why do I have to die?
Because Yamnul cared so much about y'all, and Julian just hated it.
I hated him so much. I won't apologize. I love.
I gave him a
very
shout out. He
much.
got mentioned in the diary. So there you go.
Yeah.
Do we have?
He gave me the recorder.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Do we have time for questions? Because we're like at 2 hours 15 minutes.
I think maybe we should save the questions for a campaign moron.
Just do all of the questions for campaign morons, and we're just gonna have a full question extravaganza.
We're gonna have a morons questions extravaganza. Yeah. So give us more questions. We are going to do a full campaign morons, and we are going to answer everything that we possibly can. So ask all the tough questions, and we'll try to answer around the things I can't reveal yet.
We will answer everything that we want to, and we will tell you the things that we're not going to answer.
Mm-hmm. I could tell you probably nothing about Manrose, who Manrose is or whatever.
Yeah,
because Manrose
sorry if
isn't
you thought
done.
you were going to get to find out.
Yeah, Manrose is
because we mentioned
more Manrose to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Manrose is like James Bond.
Alistair's an NPC.
Yeah, Alistair is straight up NPC.
I mean, technically, Victor's an NPC now because he's more of a consultant to the organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I told Adam if he needs me to
they
cameo,
can play their own NPCs
but
if they come back or something. If that ever happens,
One more thing that I want to kind of throw out
I'm
there.
I'm still around, everybody. Don't worry.
Like one more thing I kind of want to throw out there, and I know that like Julian didn't know like what was going on with Alistair, but like I think it's interesting that Julian decided to leave him the pocket library, and all I can say, and I don't know what plans or what Adam may do in the future, but at least from my perspective, Alistair may still take you up on that and start using it for his own purposes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, because I
well, that's not nefarious sounding.
It's Alistair.
All I'm saying is, don't be surprised if in the future, like some party of adventurers, like happens across some kind of pocket library and then finds like a flaming cat in there that
we should leave,
that
guys.
ends up
it's asleep on a pillow in a sunbeam.
And very condescending to anybody talking to
but
him.
I wanted to leave you. I wanted to leave you guys with something that I know you guys liked. With obviously Victor loved cooking, so I was just like, hey, do you know about this test kitchen? I hope you do. And you just by happenstance put that in the epilogue already, and then it's like, Alistair loves reading books, specifically about Tulsa. I was like, okay, well, I didn't give him the rest of the books. I'm gonna give him the whole books because
which is kind of funny in retrospect.
Books about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of funny in retrospect. He just reads about himself all the time.
Oh, go ahead. Now you gave him a pocket dimension that he can project himself into, basically.
And I think it's also interesting that like the way that you were like, oh yeah, it's in the corner of your eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you just gotta look for it.
You just gotta look for
it.
I found this key while I was cleaning.
Yeah, it's like how cats get eye gook is if you clean the gook out of the eye. That's what the key was.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, I would have loved to do questions now, but we did 2 hours.
It's been a very, very long episode already.
But I mean, we covered a lot of stuff for 8 episodes.
But that being said, I think we still have time for one more thing before we go.
What's that?
Comparisons.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I had a really good idea for comparisons.
Okay.
And I forgot it.
It was so good, guys.
I was listening to the episodes and it...
This one is terrible. Which Thai Beanie Baby are you?
I don't remember any of them.
I'm joking. But because I have a bull terrier Thai Beanie Buddy that looks like Bop, my dog.
You know what? I don't know if Ty is still around or not, but if you could make an Alistair Beanie Baby, like that would be great. Okay, really thanks. Cool.
Yeah.
For any Thai people that are like listening to this episode here,
and by Thai we mean TY.
We mean Thai, the company
TY.
Thai.
Oh yeah, TY.
Not
TY.
Yeah.
Although
they're
for anybody
around.
from Thailand, like, hey, welcome.
Hey. Oh yeah, I guess it is TY. I just. Somebody told me about this when I streamed, and they were like, "Yeah, there's a Beanie Baby that looks just like your dog." And they gave me a link, and I was like, "Yep, I'm buying it."
I have a black cat now in real life.
Nice.
I wrote the daggum epilogue, and then I was forced to take in a black cat named Moop.
Moop, the eye gunk of Tulsa.
Yeah. Oh, he gets real. He gets real bad eye gunk. It's awful.
Oh, man.
I didn't know that.
Good comparisons. Fuck, I don't really have a good one right now.
I had a good one, and I just can't remember what it was. I feel so stupid.
Okay,
Which Walking Dead character are you?
Oh, I don't know. I told you I didn't watch past like the third or fourth season.
Right. Yeah, true.
how about this?
Some of the characters
classic
stay.
movie monsters.
Classic what?
Classic movie monsters.
Classic movie monsters.
Like Frankenstein, the Wolfman.
Yeah. Like
I guess
those
the
kinds
Wolfman.
of things. Although I would be willing to extend that to like any kind of like iconic horror monster.
Oh, so like Michael Myers.
So yeah, even more modern
Jason
ones. Let's open
Voorhees.
it all. Let's open it all up. Yeah.
The guy who made the centipede or human centipede.
Human
Yeah. That guy.
Human centipede.
Oh goodness, that's hard.
Yeah, I got to think about that for a second.
Because Victor's not like a psychopath killer or anything. So
well, I mean, but you don't have to necessarily find that in common. Like there are other things you can find in common.
I mean, you said classic ones, and I think the Wolfman kind of works because Victor turns into something that he doesn't want to be.
I think that's pretty
He's
good.
just a nice Wolfman
Yeah.
that doesn't want to eat people.
Yeah.
Maybe Frankenstein's monster.
Misunderstood.
Kind
I
of
can
hates
kinda
himself.
see that as
Julian
well.
Yeah,
Misunderstood.
misunderstood.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know what I would pick for mine, to be honest.
You're Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
or Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde,
Or the reanimator.
oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an easy answer.
Yeah, it is an easy one because it was
There's literally an
There was
analog
some-
in the show
I
of
think-
that guy.
in the show
figured it out.
of his
I
colleague.
think for Alistair, it might just be Freddy Krueger.
He does love the Dreamlands.
He does love the Dreamlands,
Yeah.
a little bit of the fourth wall breaky kind of stuff. Like
Yep, he makes
He can
jokes
come
at other
in
people's
and
expense.
he can come in and
back
out
in.
of dreams. Yep.
He's part green
He's part green, yeah. And
Yeah.
and red. Green and
and
red.
red. Yeah, he had green and red stripes on Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
He just had the
Freddy
had the green
Krueger
and red at
burned
different
up.
times.
And
Yeah.
Alistair was
Also
fire sometimes.
true. Yeah. I'm sticking with it. Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Yep. That's it's
Final
perfect.
answer.
All music was written and produced by Marco
'cause
Mazzei of
we don't
Fallen
have
Highway
one for
Studios.
Julian. Well, I guess
stick
the,
it. I'll
guess we
think
did.
of- I'll post one in the Discord when I decide on one.
And then we'll mention it later in the next Moron in the
Yes.
season
but
Morons.
Man Rose is like the Hellraiser box. I don't know.
he's the
Just-
he's
the
the
box.
puzzle box.
It was
he's just the box operator.
So what happens when we put
Cenobites,
Man
right?
Rose in the Lament configuration?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, Man Rose in the Lament configuration.
Yeah.
Manrose could be Jigsaw if he was super evil. People just go into his
Manrose-
elevator and he puts them in terrible situations.
Yes. Man Rose is Jigsaw if Jigsaw were
Would you
super
like to
evil.
play a game?
Like all he wants to do is play tabletop
He
games.
does. He does.
inside of his Hellraiser box.
I'd like to play a game. It's set in Dark City.
Oh, just read these rules for the next
Yes.
hour, and then we'll play.
You'll have to fill out a character sheet.
I'll help you. Oh, I've
This
got some
won't go in the
pre-generated
episode.
characters if
Then
you
it
want to play
becomes-
them.
Oh man, that was fun. We have fun.
We have fun here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check out
It's based on a real
creativetypo.com
world.
Yes.
Yeah.
for our other shows
That are still going on.
And and for like the scenes and Morons of this one or whatever. Whenever we do
Hell,
that.
a
for the
Fool's
series.
Quest finale's coming up soon.
It's true.
And
There's
you
all
might
kinds of
hear-
things coming to an end.
And then stuff.
And new things in
new
the
things-
works.
Yep. New shows in the works.
I've got a DM right now in Discord related to one of the new things. So
Awesome.
it happened while we were recording.
Yeah. Honestly, I got
Yeah.
a DM too, and it's probably creative typo related.
I mean, that's what
Well, I know
most of
mine
them
is
are.
because that's what I use Discord for.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check that out. We've got merch. We've got other shows. We've got ads. We've got a Patreon if you don't want to hear ads.
Join the Patreon.
Yeah, please support. If you liked this show, then maybe we'll make more like it. Who knows?
Yeah. We plan on a lot of stuff got put on hold this year. Sadly, I got injured bad. I mean, if you've been in Discord,
been a weird year.
That knocked me out from July 2nd to basically I started getting back into the swing of things in September, and we're really just now starting to get things going at the end of October for a lot of side projects that we were. Well, not side. I mean, they're main projects that we were working on the side.
Yep. And if you want to support us, like through interaction or spreading the word around, we've got a Twitter that tweets episodes and stuff like that, and then we do have the Patreon.
Is constantly putting out some tweets for us, and it's awesome.
Like every day.
But all of those things help support it and can help it grow and help us produce more content faster, get more people on board, all that kind of
Reviews
stuff. So
on whatever service you listen to the podcast, leave a review. It does help
Podchaser, Apple.
a lot.
Tell your friends.
Tell all of your friends until they're tired of hearing it, and eventually give up and listen to us anyway.
You go to a smoke shop to get your vapes and your edibles. Like, yeah, tell them about it. Tell your exterminator. Yeah. Your exterminator comes, kill some bugs. Be like, hey,
tell the
you
man
listen to podcasts.
Tell them we've got a URL, watchbugsdie.com.
Yeah, tell them about watchbugsdie.com. They're
tell
probably
your
into that.
Man, like, hey,
they might be disappointed.
Your job stinks and it smells, but you know what doesn't stink and smell? This podcast you can listen to while you're driving the stinky dump truck.
Maybe don't tell people that they stink and smell. And then mention our
they
podcast.
don't stink and smell.
It's just their job.
They're just around the truck.
Let's not pretend they don't actually also stink and smell after they worked all day. It's not their fault,
might not.
and they have a respectable profession, but they do stink and smell. It's a fact.
But like, if you go pick up groceries, like you should tell like the cashier and everybody in line, just tell them all about the show, have them listen. Yeah, that'd be great.
It's easier when you're wearing your Microphones and Monsters
send
shirts.
Send me an email.
Yeah.
Hats and stuff.
Buy some stickers. I'll send you a pack of stickers, and you could pass out stickers to people.
Careful now. We're gonna have to send out 3s of packs of stickers.
Threes.
Maybe not dozens, but 3s. Multiples of 3.
Well, you only
3,
get
6,
free
9.
stickers at cons and stuff that we go to. That's the only time we give out free stickers. Unless it's like a competition or something or giveaway or something. But if you want to buy stickers, I'll sell you stickers.
Has the music started yet?
Music is starting.
No. The music's already playing.
It is?
Ad break.
Oh God, you did not.
What if we just end the show there?
In there?
Yeah, that's
I
for
threw
true.
in a couple.
Hey, this
It'll
is the
fine.
third
you
ad
did?
break. Okay?
Okay.
They're just not very well spread out.
Do an ad break before the outro music, or just end the show of me screaming ad break, and that's the end of the show, and then play the music with nothing behind it afterwards.
People have been like, it's such a hard contrast because of the last episodes.
Oh yeah,
not having like the outro music like trailing off, and then ad is just like abrupt ending.
Oh, we should
then,
all four record like we'll be right back to Microphones and Monsters, and you just put that in there.
Don't you go change it.
Yeah. Put it in there right before an ad break. Or just go back to all the episodes and re-edit every single one, and every time we're approaching an ad break, insert me screaming ad break. Just like
I will not do that. That is too much. That is a lot of work.
I know.
Just to do that.
I mean that's only what, like roughly 1,000 of them that you would have to put in.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still recording?
Now what we need is someone to go back through all the episodes and do a supercut of every time someone says man rose. Go.
Man rose.
Man rose.
Man rose.
It's going to be too many cooks, but it's
Hello,
just
Man
man
Rose.
rose being said by different people all the time.
Half the time it's just him saying his own name.
Yeah.
And then maybe we should also extend that into Dread Tech too. and you can get some alternatives. Like instead of man roast, you maybe get a elevator guy.
Elevator guy? Not elevator
Hey,
guy.
elevator guy.
Yeah, elevator guy. Yeah, he works the elevator.
What
I think
you
that's
called
all
him
for today.
elevator man or something, and I was like, jump man.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, elevator
Trash man.
Guy McPerson?
Normal human.
Oh God, please no. I'm not. I got so much shit for doing that accent for one of my friends. It's like my wife listens to it, and she's from Australia and didn't appreciate it. My work here is done.
Or at least we didn't upset the Belgians again or whatever we did that one time.
Did you say the music in this episode is written and produced by Marco Mazzei?
Yeah,
I think
I
we
said it like
at
10
some
minutes
point.
ago.
Oh, okay.
But
I
we
did.
can
I
say
said
it
it
again.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just
just
said
did.
it again. Thanks, Marco
Oh, yeah.
Mazzei. The music was really
Thank
cool
you for all of
our
the
show.
music that you have done across the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Good music.
I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but thanks, Marco Mazzei.
Yeah, Marco Mazzei, you should join the Discord and say something.
Maybe.
If that is your
Now
real
we'll
name.
know if Marco Mazzei shows up. We'll know.
Well, no.
We credited you, dadgummit. We said we would.
We
bought
credited
the
you in
music.
every episode.
You got more credits than you probably would have otherwise.
Now, I will say that
Like
Marco
other shows don't
Mazzei-
say it like 6 times.
Marco Mazzei and Fallen Highway Studios has stopped producing stuff, and he's actually a ghostwriter for another musician right now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So-
Good job, Marco.
I mean, that still
I
seems
think we're on a
kind of
first
like
name
on
basis
brand.
by now.
Microphones and
Yeah.
Monsters. He's a ghostwriter. Yeah.
Just in time for Halloween.
Just in time.
Unless this airs after Halloween. I don't know when Adam's putting it out.
I
Is
think
it on
this will
Monday?
probably.
Billie Jean's about to be off work for 3 days, and it's her birthday on Halloween.
Dope.
So I'm probably not going to have the time to edit it.
Well, we'll hope you guys all had a great Halloween.
There you go.
Don't eat too much candy, do you get your tummy ache?
It's too late. It's too late for them now, man.
It's too late.
and I
Just
I
like
hope
it's
I
you-
guess
too
they
late for
could have
us.
saved their candy to listen while they're listening.
Yes.
To eat. They
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
listen to their candy.
Well,
They
we
got to
didn't
eat
tell
it
them
while
to
they're
do that,
listening
so I don't
to
think they
tell me
remember.
how
2.5 hours.
Tell me how many Snickers that are not Snickers-sized poops that you are eating whilst listening to the podcast that you can do.
Guys, we
How
really
many
have to end this 'cause
full-size
I
Snickers
have to go.
size
Yeah,
candy?
I also have to go. I need to take a shower because I have to go to a Halloween party.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yes. Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
hungry.
No, I just mean I have to go.
Well,
Oh,
everybody,
okay.
pay attention.
You gotta
Pay
gotta
attention
go
on
for a
Discord. Like,
Snickers-sized.
come and join us for our live campaign wrap up Morons,
Yes.
where we'll answer everybody's
Yes.
questions.
Which will be soon.
Yes.
TM.
Get on
Which will
Discord
be-
because we're gonna put an event on there when we decide a date, because we haven't decided a date, but that's where all the questions are gonna be answered in our Morons Extravaganza campaign. Full shit.
Yeah, that's the name. Write that
the
out.
full Snicker-sized shit.
Music, Marco Mazzei. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Creative Typo.
Thank you so
I'm-
much. We love you.
I'm
Thank you
Johnny
for
Gomez, and I'm
joining
joined by
us.
Nick Diamond. Good fight. Good night.
Thank you
Oh my gosh.
for joining us for all this craziness.
Just cut it. Cut it. We're done.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do
thank you.
this part on the
Love you.
season
Yeah.
one. You guys have a great day,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks
see you
so
later.
much. We
Bye.
love you. Bye. Have a wonderful time. I almost hung up the call not recording.
Just hang up the call. Bye.